is a presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Blackmore. We are Arizona.
What an amazing day it has been outside all day long. Keep this roof open. Ride the light rail down to Chase Field. It's going to be a gorgeous, gorgeous night for baseball and a challenge on hand again. The St. Louis Cardinals, who looked to right the ship immediately upon arriving in Arizona, did so last night. Well, they've got a tall task tonight with the mound matchup against those St. Louis Cardinals. Glad to have you with us for the Cardinals and the Arizona Diamondbacks. Hi there, folks. Greetings from Chase Field and welcome back to the ballpark. This is Mark Grace. My name is Darren Sutton. We trust to this point you have had a fabulous day. Let's talk about the mound matchup. Armando Galarraga, who last year took a big step backwards outside of the near-perfect game, struggled all year long on and off. And then Chris Carpenter, a Cy Young Award winner throughout his career, one of the best in the National League. First off, as we take a look at the numbers, let's look back to Armando Galarraga, who maybe went backwards last year, but in his first start as a Diamondback, because of one pitch, took a step forward.
Well, he faced Ryan Dempster of the Chicago Cubs, who happened to be the ace of the Chicago Cubs. This is not unfamiliar territory for Galarraga. He had a good sinker going, but what really impressed me, Darren, was his slider. We didn't see this kind of slider in spring training from Armando Galarraga. It ended up being a strikeout pitch, and it was his go-to pitch to get him through 7 innings.
Carpenter, that fabulous sinking fastball, he will cut it. But it's also that knee-bending curveball that gets a lot of outs that keeps people on.
Well, simply put, he's one of the best pitchers in all of baseball and has been for the last 5 or 6 years. He's not only a great pitcher, he's a great competitor, so the Diamondbacks certainly have their hand full with him.
So Albert Pujols was in line, rare as it seems, to go 0 for 5 last night before he singled in his final at-bat. A couple of seasons ago, he didn't go 0 for 5 all season long. You watched him very closely. What have you seen? And I think one of the first things is the amount of pitches he's seen.
Well, he saw 14 pitches in 5 at-bats last night. That's less than 3 per at-bat for a guy that leads the league in walks. And what happens when you're struggling, folks, is you start trying to get 5 hits in every at-bat. And not right now, he's just a little bit impatient, chasing some pitches that maybe he usually doesn't chase because he wants to get so many hits in just so few at-bats. So just give it time, and pitchers, enjoy it while you can, because it ain't going to last much longer.
Well, you said that last night, so in a word, he'll be fine?
He'll be just fine.
Oh, I had a chance to stand by Albert for a brief moment. He had 2 laptop computers going today. On one, Armando Galarraga. On the other, the side swing. He was watching both over and over, getting ready, doing his homework. Certainly glad to have you with us. When we come back, we'll talk about Diamondbacks manager Kirk Gibson, maybe his perspective, but tie it into Tony La Russa. Is he tough on his guys? Is he tough on the media? Is that the reason he has so much success and will be headed to the Hall of Fame? Mark McClune tackles that subject when we come back. Max. Southwest Airlines new Rapid Rewards. Unlimited rewards seats. No blackout dates.
And just about set to go in downtown Phoenix. Game 2 of the series between the Diamondbacks and the Cardinals. The Diamondbacks trying to get back on the winning track. Now, after last night's loss to St. Louis, Kirk Gibson said he went back into his office and watched the entire game over, not only to get better and take a look at his decisions, but to measure them against a guy that he says sets the standard for managers all over baseball. That's Tony La Russa. He's had a lot of success in 31 seasons in a big league dugout. In tonight's Geico quote of the game, let's hear how La Russa has had so much success.
The personal side of this game is where it starts. You can be the smartest baseball man in existence. And if your personality is like this fist here, and you don't get the players to relate and believe in you and trust you got no chance. So I was well schooled by my parents, and growing up, ran into some terrific baseball men that ended up being mentors.
One of just 2 managers to win world championships in both leagues tonight. Armando Galarraga takes him out for the D-backs and tries to not make it a holiday for St. Louis as they visit Arizona. It's next on Fox Sports Arizona. Darren Sutter, Mark Grace have the call.
This tonight, we trust, as we said earlier, your week to this point has been a good one. The Diamondbacks take the diamond, and they do so in their home whites. They know they have a challenge ahead of them. And Armando Galarraga takes the bump in the middle, going to work. There is his weapon of choice. You know what? Quick thought. Always fun. We saw it in Chicago. We see Galarraga head out to pick up that baseball. He runs on and off the field. When he grounds out on the infield, he runs through the bag. It's interesting to see. You like seeing hustle from a pitcher.
Absolutely. That sets a tone, Darren. That's a guy that, and it shows the other team, man, I can't wait to get on the mound and start pitching against you.
Headed to the Hall of Fame when he decides his career is done. Tony La Russa, 34th season. White Sox, Oakland, St. Louis, and certainly here in St. Louis, he manages, he says openly, on a year-to-year basis. He decides each year if that's the next thing that he wants to do or if he wants to take it to the house. Let's take a look at his starting lineup. Ryan Terrios at the very top of that lineup. Colby Rasmus, really unheralded man in that lineup. Albert Pujols, it'll be fun to watch him tonight. Matt Holliday, Lance Berkman had a huge night last night. David Freese, Skip Schumacher, Yadier Molina, the unenviable task of batting 8th, and Chris Carpenter, a very good athlete, handles the bat very effectively. Part of the numbers for Albert, he has rolled into 7 double plays. Again, watching him prepare for today's game, it's always a treat. Heck, being in our shoes, watching any big leaguer prepare, it's fun. But Pujols truly locked in today. And ready to roll. Armando Galarraga, the right-hander, against the Chicago Cubs 5 days ago. Went 7 innings, gave up 4 runs, 5 strikeouts through 94 pitches in that outing. We talked about the slider. What else did you see?
Well, I saw some good sink and actually some very good velocity as well on Galarraga's fastball. And I saw a lot of strikes. The most important thing, Darren, is as a starter, you set the tone by throwing a lot of strikes and getting quick outs.
He's a 29-year-old right-hander out of Cumana in Venezuela. Signed originally as an Expo, was traded to Texas, then traded to Detroit. From Detroit, signed with the Diamondbacks as a free agent, or I should say was acquired this winter in a trade, and we are underway at Chase Field. First pitch up and in to Ryan Theriot. Mini 3-game hitting streak for Theriot. On the ground, Stephen Drew sets, fires. Fine play right away by the Diamondback shortstop. With that in mind, let's take a look at all of the defenders that work behind Galarraga, and when he's right, he's on the ground. So that means Roberts, Drew, Johnson, and Russell Branyan. Branyan gets a start, will be very important. Miguel Montero back behind home plate.
Talking about the defense, how about a quick backhand play right out of the gate? Second pitch of the game from Stephen Drew.
1-0 the count to Colby Rasmus.
It's tough to get many replays in with Armando Galarraga on the mound. He works quick.
There are a couple of things, and baseball's a funny game. People talk and you bear reputations, and at times they are tough to shake. But at times you welcome a new opportunity to shake those reputations. The one thing that was said in the past about Galarraga was the opposite. A very slow worker, very deliberate. Well, we have seen so far a guy who runs on and off the field and never really takes many walks around the mound.
Stays right on top of the rubber.
You
yeah,
bet.
He got him with that slider we were talking about coming into the game, Darren. That was a dandy.
So a ground out and a strikeout, and Colby Rasmus, obviously lefty against him facing a righty.
There's the slider we were talking about. Rasmus can't check it. Bob Davidson, the home plate umpire, after he threw me out of the game before the game started, rings it up for strike 3.
You deserved it.
Well, you know what? I had it coming. I got a little lippy with him.
In a regular season game, the first matchup of Galarraga and Pujols, right down the middle, good sink. 0-1 the count to Albert. 321 career hitter against the Diamondbacks. Swing and a miss, the slider.
He is just a machine right now, and that's Pujols' nickname. I'm talking about Galarraga right now.
0-2, take 1-2 the count.
But a very good spot to throw that 0-2 slider. Down and away, Pujols won't do anything with that.
Outside, and we saw that in Chicago. He occasionally will have that arm angle come down a bit and just pull a fastball, just pull it right out of the zone. That alleviates the sink on it. Not very much. Slider, topped foul. That one was up, but it was far enough out.
And he dropped his arm angle a little bit, threw that one about almost sidearm. And that one moved more flat than down. They want a fastball in.
He hit his spot, and it's popped up over our head. Good try, Gracie. Almost had it.
Just missed it.
2-2 the count. That would have been a good souvenir. Any ball that Albert hits is worth keeping.
Doggone right.
The 2-2. Back in there. Hard ground ball. Diving attempt Roberts. So Pujols wins that battle. Look forward to seeing how much of home plate that one got. You might have seen it with your naked eye.
It looked like it was on the inside corner, but Pujols still very quick with those hands. Let's see. Yeah, that one's on the inside corner. It was a strike, but you'll give him that. With 2 outs and nobody on, you'll give him that. However, better pay careful attention to the man getting in the batter's box right now, and that's Matt Holliday.
Well, he missed just 7 games after an appendectomy. Came back 9 days later. It was stunning to everyone. One of the hottest hitters in the National League since last June. Had a quiet game here at Chase, and I think it made him mad as the slider misses outside. Since that quiet day in Chase on June 13th in which he was hitless in 5 at-bats, he's hitting .331 in all games in which he has played. He's got 81 RBIs, and he is right there with the likes of Cargo and Votto as the best hitters in the National League. And, of course, that's Matt Holliday.
He just threw it right past him there. Fastball middle. Challenged him and got away with it. That's just pretty much going right after the big fella.
You saw Fox Tracks trail it over the outside corner. Good stuff there. Slider off the end of the bat. And look out in the on-deck circle, Lance Berkman. The lean machine Lance Berkman, who crushed the baseball last night. Looked good.
2 opposite field home runs here last night.
One and 2 the count. Is it a slider? Is it a fastball? Time was called. A late call of time, hopping out from behind home plate, Bob Davidson. Albert Pujols, by the way, in that first at bat, 7 pitches.
Good for him.
14 total.
That's more like him.
Last night. There's that fastball we told you about. 2 and 2 the count. That's what we're talking about. He didn't like going 0 for 5 here at Chase Field.
Well, he didn't.
2 and 2. Slider. The pitch of decision. The pitch Gracie told all of you about coming on the air. It's been there for him so far. To roll, he'll face Willie Bloomquist, Kelly Johnson, and Justin Upton. Skipper Kirk Gibson ready for his towing of the rubber, figuratively, to go toe-to-toe with Chris Carpenter and his mates. Let's take a look at the starting lineup. Gibby and his guys, by the way, will be challenged big time, and I mean big time, on the base paths. I'll explain. Southwest Airlines has Willie, Kelly, Justin Upton, Stephen Drew, Chris Young, Russell Branyan, Miguel Montero, Ryan Roberts, Armando Galarraga. He's making his 3rd start of the year. He's pitched very well. Veteran right-hander Chris Carpenter, he has not earned a win, but his 2 starts have given him 13 innings with 10 strikeouts. And right away on the ground, hot shot as Terrio, leaving his feet into the dirt, and Pujols calmly digs it right out. Bloomquist, a lightning bolt right out of the gates. Holiday, Rasmus, Berkman, outfield. Freeze, Terrio, Schumacher, Pujols, infield. Yadier Molina catches Carpenter. Carpenter, a 2.54 ERA in his career against the Diamondbacks. Pitched very well in his last start against Arizona last year. Went 7 innings, gave up 3 runs, beat Dan Herron. And into the dirt it goes. And he's just a tough son of a gun out there. He loves competing.
He's an intense competitor. You are going to get every ounce of his heart and his soul every 5th day.
He's had that arm rebuilt. He has battled missing full seasons. He's been released early in his career by Toronto after trying to find his way with Toronto, unable to do so. Kelly fights that one right out of the catcher's mitt. Kelly has had some great success against him. 7 of 16, a double, a homer, and 4 walks. Kelly talking about waiting out Carpenter. He said it's a hard thing to do, but you have to. That time, there's that cut fastball right under his hands. Johnson done. Kelly this year, by the way, has struck out 13 times.
Used to see that pitch to the left-handers from Dan Herron about 6 inches inside, but the left-handers just can't lay off of it.
Tough matchup for Justin. Hitless in 11 at-bats with 8 strikeouts against Carpenter. And the first pitch to Upton, just a sinking fastball, almost a get-me-over fastball for strike 1. Upton in a 4-game hitting streak, rolling. As that one dives away, that's a cut fastball, 1-1 the count. 7 hits in his last 15 at-bats, plus he's walked 3 times in that time as well. So he's been on base 10 times in the last 4 games. Into the dirt it goes. Tonight's game brought to you in HD by Panasonic Viera. Glad to have you watching us in high def. Stand up and salute the skipper as he looks into your living room. The 2-1. 3-1 the count. A patient Upton did not offer it. A very close pitch.
It was one of those that could have been called a strike if Yadier Molina would have come up with it cleanly. A lot of umpires figure if you can't catch it, it's probably not a strike.
3-1 the count. High ball 4. 0 for 11. 8 strikeouts, and he patiently coaxed himself a walk. That's a small tip of the cap early on to Justin Upton. Again, Kelly Johnson talking before the game about the attack of the Cardinal pitcher as a whole. He's talked baseball and pitching, Kelly has, with Adam Wainwright as Stephen Drew steps in. They want to get you aggressive early.
Sure.
They want decisions, and every pitcher does, but it's really a Cardinal philosophy. 1-0 pitches are not a big Cardinal philosophy.
And that's exactly right. They want to get you out, and they want you swinging. They want quick outs. Keep the pitch count down.
Steven ahead in the count, 1-0. He has had no success either against Carpenter. There's a pitch, sails outside, 2-0 the count. And good for the Diamondbacks. They want you engaged, and as Kelly put it as well, they want you going out of the zone with them.
That's exactly right. Tease you just off the plate. Try to have get yourself out if you're the hitter. Now Stephen Drew with a 2-0 count. Look for one pitch in one spot, something he can drive. Good patient at bat. Wasn't his pitch. It was just off the plate. He let it fly.
The stubborn right-hander, 35 years old, out of Trinity High School. 15th overall pick back in 1993 of the Toronto Blue Jays. 9 years later, they released him. Steven drives it into the left center field gap. To the wall it goes. High off that wall, Justin Upton, come on down. It did not go over the wall, and that's a good thing.
Huge break right there for the Diamondbacks.
Because Upton comes all the way around. Stephen Drew with an RBI. He was 1 for 13 in his career against Carpenter. Career double number 150 for Drew.
3-0 swing, and he got something he can handle. Drives it into the left center gap. And let's just take a look at how close this came from being a ground rule double. It hit the yellow line, but stayed in play. And with Upton's speed, that's all it takes is staying in the ballpark to make it a 1-0 Diamondbacks lead.
On a 3-0 swing. On a 3-0 attack of the baseball. By a wide margin, the Diamondbacks attacked more than anyone 3-0 last year. It'll be interesting to track how they attack this year on 3-0. Chris Young, 1-0 the count. The one guy who had hit really well against him, Kelly Johnson, he made mincemeat of Kelly.
Exactly.
The two guys that were combined 1 for 24 have walked and doubled.
Have accounted for the Diamondback run.
So I'm not telling you Chris Young's numbers, folks, against him. We'll just leave it alone. 2-0 the count.
Right now, Carpenter, after 2 very easy outs to start the inning, fell behind Justin Upton, walked and fell behind 3-0 to Stephen Drew, gave up an RBI double. Now he's 2-0 here on Chris Young, and that is very unlike Chris Carpenter.
They're making him come over the wide of the plate, though, aren't they? That one in on the hands, popped up. Tony La Russa tried to make the play there. I think he came up empty. Anytime the D-backs score 6 runs or more, Taco Bell gives away 3 free tacos with the purchase of a large drink. I think actually Tony made the play there.
I think he did as well.
A self-proclaimed sore arm infielder when he played. That's what Tony La Russa calls himself in the end. Hot shot right into center field. Come on down. Here we go. The throw from Rasmus is not in time. Taking the extra base. Chris Young. They are waiting him out. When he gets over the wide of the plate, they're making him pay. 2-0 Arizona.
Good aggressive base coaching there from Glenn Sherlock. After a rocket right back up the box, Chris Young just stays right through that and smokes it right past Carpenter. Now, it's just a matter of Stephen Drew's speed. He gets there, and good aggressive base running as well from Chris Young. Once that ball got by, he scampered to second base. Now he's in scoring position for Russell Branyan.
Russell earns the start and takes a breaking ball that bounces in there. 1-0 the count to the slugger and the veteran. You know, when you talk about Chris Carpenter and you look at the last 5 years, make it 6 years in the big leagues, he is just about it. Winning percentage first, John Lester second, ERA third, only Johan Santana and Adam Wainwright better. He has been major league pitching and the top of the charts. Changeup.
Once again, he falls behind 2-0.
I mean, this is who he is. And has battled injuries through that time, battled back to health, won the Cy Young Award in 2005. Curveball take. 3-0 the count.
Well, I would imagine Russell Branyan's got the green light. Chris Carpenter, he knows he does. So it'll be interesting to see if he just goes ahead and puts him on base with a base open, or if he just comes over with that get me over fastball. But that's dangerous to Russell Branyan. Yeah, he went with the curveball.
Ball 4. Young will move up. And so Russell Branyan.
That was a pitch around.
Branyan 6 for 16, a double, triple, homer, 5 walks in his career. Now 6 walks in his career. Last faced him in the postseason back in 2006. Was 2 for 5 against him with a triple. Now for the Chris Carpenter, mind you, Diamondbacks fans, we follow baseball in the National League West. So we see Carpenter once, maybe twice a year. This is not what we're used to seeing.
No, not at all. Not at all. falling behind hitters, that's just not something he does. And it was interesting. He just easily disposed of the first two batters of this inning, and then all of a sudden he just started falling behind. And this is living proof that even if you're one of the best in the game like Chris Carpenter is, if you fall behind major league hitters, you're going to get hurt.
I think a lot of the research that was done down there, part of the reason he doesn't fall behind is hitters attack just off the plate, and they're letting those pitches sail by, to their credit. That one grabs the inside corner. Miggy, as we mentioned, 4 of 10 with the double, 4 strikeouts. Last 4 batters, now including Miggy, 5 batters, 18 pitches. The first 2 batters, just 6 pitches. Look out above that dugout.
Well, he's decided he's going to crowd Miguel Montero with fastballs in. One for a called strike, and then one right off his thumbs there.
See how he went back to his old ways, though? He got himself a called strike and went about 4 inches further in.
Right back in there he's going. Ate him up again, but he's able to fight it off.
Well, Montero has been fighting a lot of pitches off to start the season. And as we see this again, Miggy has hit in 7 of the 8 games in which he has played. He has reached in all 8 games. He was 0 for 3 with a walk last night. And he's hanging around.
He's continuing to bully him inside. He might have him sped up enough to throw him something off speed here, Darren. There's the off-speed pitch, as you said.
1-2 the count. He got himself where he wanted to with Kelly Johnson, able to use that cutter. Truth be told, Willie Bloomquist crushed the baseball. Hopper just found the glove of Ryan Theriot, the shortstop. So he was on it out of the gates. Again, Willie using the big part of the field. That's no surprise. Curveball, they call it at home plate. Miggy's hot. Miggy will have to spend the day with Bob Davidson. Don't forget about that. The two of them, as the conversation continues. Gibson coming out to make sure his catcher stays in the game. Miguel Montero, Bob Davidson talking back and forth, and Kirk Gibson making sure it's all good. Bob Davidson saying it was him and not me.
He's saying, talk to him, not me. He's saying, I should be talking to you. You're the one that rung my hitter up.
In a moment, as Berkman settles in, we'll show you why Miguel Montero was so upset. We'll let Lance Berkman go to work, but this will be interesting to watch for a moment.
Lance Berkman saying, can I get in the box yet? Are you guys done?
This is why Miguel was upset.
What do you think at home, folks? Did he go? No, he didn't go.
So,
then you rarely see Miguel get that animated.
The 1-0 to Berkman, who homered twice yesterday. So I guess my question for you is, we saw Davidson, to bring our casual fan up to speed a little bit, kind of doing a helicopter behind him. Davidson called it himself. In Miguel's shoes, Gracie, are you at least wanting maybe him to ask for help instead?
And when it's like that, because Miguel has a violent swing. And a lot of times when you're swinging it as hard as he swings it, it can look to an umpire like, yeah, because there was a lot of movement going on, but the bat never really went around. And I think Bob Davidson just saw a lot of movement with the bat and decided that was enough. Watch how much the bat moves so that can fool an umpire. But you can see Miguel's like, you got to be kidding me. That's when, anytime you argue with an American umpire, say it in Spanish. That way you won't get thrown out of the game.
3 homers in the series for Berkman. Slider down and in. He did his homework. He was ready for that pitch. Lance Berkman picks up his mate, who was batted around a bit, in Chris Carpenter, and that's his 3rd homer in less than 24 hours.
3 in a row. 3 at-bats in a row with home runs. That's the slider. It does absolutely nothing but stay right there, and Berkman just tattoos it.
Pitches outside to David Freese. Lance Berkman now has a 9-game hitting streak here at Chase Field. In that time, he's got 10 hits. 6 of them are extra bases. 5 of them are homers. As David Freese unloads. Chris Young looks up. Gone.
That didn't take long.
We're tied at 2. Second home run of the year for Freese. Well, it appears that it's on.
Boys bought their hitting shoes on today. This one's up and out over. Bang. It's a long ways to left center field. Easily out of here.
Fan out there made a nice play up and above onto the balcony, as I like to call it. A nice beard. 0-1 the count to Skip Schumacher. I knew I'd get you on that one. There we go.
He's a Dodger fan.
The 0-1.
Can't have that.
Really?
Dodger fans?
Blue hat, green money. That's what I like to say.
Good point.
Money and your plastic are welcome here, sir.
Doggone right. Come one, come all.
Get yourself a red hat while you're down here. Sedona. I know you love the sand. The 1-2.
Sonoran. That's an attempted change up there from Galarraga.
The ground ball rates for Galarraga have gone down the last few years. Because of that, the homers have gone up as that one dives low.
Well, 0-2 to 3-2 here for Galarraga.
He also pitched very well at Comerica Park, where fly balls go to die. Here at Chase, they don't go to die as much. You have to hit it to get it out of Comerica. Lifted into the left center field gap. Cardinals are back-legging it. Skip Schumacher races on around. The 3rd consecutive extra base hit for Schumacher. That's his 4th double of the year. Double number 4 for Skip.
They did a great job after falling behind 0-2. Galarraga started nitpicking a little bit, got himself to a 3-2 count, a pitch he can handle. He just drives it in the left center gap. The Cardinals, after going down pretty easily in the first inning, they have come out hammering here in the second.
Schumacher leads his Cardinal mates with 4 doubles. And now Yadier Molina. Even with the bag at third as Roberts, they come in the infielders a step or two. The outfield plays Molina the other way. He chases. Not a big swing and miss guy. 0-1 the count to the youngest of the Molina brothers, the trio that have all played in the big leagues.
That was a beautiful slider there from Galarraga to jump ahead.
Quiet start. Usually that just means the balls he hits are finding gloves. Because again, the strikeout not a big part of his game. Just got a piece of another slider. You look at the velocity of Galarraga. He is touched 93, 94. That slider's 87 miles an hour. That's a hard slider. You're throwing at 87. There's some teeth on that pitch. Next question is just where are you going to locate it?
Well, I would imagine he's going to try and throw it again here.
Miguel's got to be ready to block it up. Now that's how you never strike out. Just throw the bat at the baseball. Little gamesmanship there.
Well, he's just surviving right there. Throw the bat at the ball. He wasn't trying to throw the bat at Galarraga. He's just trying to stay alive. That's good hitting right there. Get yourself another pitch.
This is what I'm talking about.
I never liked pitchers touching my bats.
Throw it out to the pitcher's mound.
Make you hit like a pitcher.
Oh, 0-2 the count. Belted left field. Tied him up enough though, so Willie Bloomquist could go get it. He's still holding on to that bat. He might dispose of it because, as you said, a pitcher touched
it. Bang! Wham! Big out right there for Galarraga. And an unproductive out off the bat of Molina.
So tomorrow's starting pitcher is Ian Kennedy. Note to self, if you're Kennedy, if he does happen to throw the bat at me again, try and hand it to him.
Just rub it all over your body.
Right down the middle to Chris Carpenter.
Just while it's on the ground, just roll around on it like a dog rolling in the backyard.
Why did I know you'd go there? I love it. Chris Carpenter, as we said, handles the bat well. 0-4 this year as he waves at a breaking ball. No balls and 2 strikes. He's homered twice in his big league career.
Just got a text from Greg Swindell.
Former Diamondback hurler.
And he said, yeah, it makes you pitch like a hitter, too.
I like that. Zeke.
Always good to hear from Zeke.
The 0-2. Into the dirt it goes. 1-2 the count.
So I guess it goes both ways. Certainly don't want to pitch like a hitter, do you?
Well, you could speak to that.
I didn't do very well. Gave up a really long one.
1-2 the count.
I guess Mike Fetters had to do more than just look at hitters to get them out. He actually had to have some good stuff.
You can see when Galarraga gets a little bit more deliberate when there are runners out there. That'll do it. A slider, 2 outs. The whiteout returns to the desert. The Coyotes take on the Red Wings, the opening round of the playoffs. Fox Sports Arizona's game coverage begins with Game 3 Monday at 7. Starting with Quest Coyotes live pregame, then next Wednesday at 7. We'll have Game 4 NHL playoff action next week right here on Fox Sports Arizona. Ryan Theriot breaking ball, grabs the outside corner. Slider, 0-1 the count to Theriot. Again, 94 pitches against the Cubs in that outing. A win at Wrigley Field, 6-4. Montero, look at him waiting to set up inside. High pop, right side. Justin Upton is there. Theriot beaten with that fastball, 0 for 2. But Lance Berkman and David Freese tie this ball game right back up. Berkman, 3 homers and as many at bats. Mr. Freese up onto the balcony. Nice play. Cardinals and the Diamondbacks as these two teams locked up at 2. And now Ryan Roberts facing Carpenter for the first time in a regular season game. Takes low but a strike. 0-1 the count. He got on top of a cut fastball there, just dumped it in. Roberts in his 5th start of the year. A couple of days ago, a huge home run as the Diamondbacks came from behind on a 5-0 deficit. This put them on top. Chased Mike Leake from the ball game. High fly, right side. Colby Rasmus puts that one to bed. So now, Armando Galarraga. Now when you see Roberts, Mora, Branyan, Miranda, and even Nady, you still say to yourself, the Diamondbacks, though spring training is over, are still trying to figure out the corners.
Well, I don't think there's any question. They'd like it to be that young man, Juan Miranda. Branyan had such a big spring training, hit his way right onto this club.
Nady has played first when he has started. As that one is topped. 1-2 the count. Jeff Blum just not healthy enough to play. On the disabled list with a knee injury. Yeah, wonder what happens when and if he is healthy enough to play. That changes things, doesn't it? It's decision time then on that roster.
Well, he's still trying to figure out if he's going to need surgery or not. And he's just been acting up for over a month now.
What's going on over there, Gracie?
Well, I'll tell you, college night.
What?
Is this Friday night at Chase Field. Students can get a ticket to the
Whoa.
April 15th Giants or April 29th Cubs game for just $5. Get your ticket today by calling 602-462-4781 or log on to dbacks.com/college. Whoa, what do we got there?
Those are the new ASU Sun Devil football helmets. They were rolled out today.
I like them.
Do you now?
Yeah.
The new Pac-12 will be ready to go. As that one is outside to Sun Devil Willie Bloomquist.
Why wouldn't they call it the 12-pack? That would be a lot more big league.
Well, that's what we call our sponsors with Miller. They call theirs a 12-pack.
All right. Oh, that's a mean-looking hombre. What do you think?
I like them. I like the black. Some college hoops. The 1-2. Breaking ball. Big part of the ballpark again. He's going to run for a while. Uh-oh, Willie Bloomquist off to the races. Touches second. And stops. Thought he may take a shot at a triple once it got by Colby Rasmus. Opted not to. Third double of the season. That's a 9-game hitting streak every game to start the year.
Just another really pretty piece of hitting from Willie Bloomquist. He takes a breaking ball, stays back, and just swats it into the right center field, and it skips by Rasmus. And you certainly thought Bloomquist, with his speed, was headed to third, but better safe than sorry. You don't want to make the last out at third base. So it'll be up to Kelly Johnson to try to drive him in here with a couple outs in the second inning.
See how patient Kelly is with Carpenter. Well, he came right down the middle on it. A little bit of tilt to it. 0-1 the count. Good cut fastball. Struck out. And as we told you earlier, Kelly, 7 of 17 now against him, but with 4 walks too. In a humble little 5-game hitting streak, a hit a game.
That one hit him.
I'll take that. Curveball right off the knee.
Let's see where it gets him. You can hear Bob Davidson. That hit him. It certainly did. And Justin Upton now with an opportunity.
Upton cleans up his workplace, gets ready to go. He walked and scored in the first inning. He has never had a hit against Carpenter in his career. Hitless in 11 tries with 8 strikeouts.
Well, eventually, talent will come back and get you. Right now, the talent of Chris Carpenter has worn out Justin Upton to this point, but eventually, great talent will get you back. And the Diamondbacks are hoping for just that right now.
This matchup a challenge for some numbers that Upton has put up out of the gates this year. A big challenge. High fly ball. Deep left field. Wow! Out of here! Up under the walkway. Mustard with that fat burger. Five-two.
Did we say something about talent? Fastball, middle, good night, Irene. You think Justin knew it? Way, way out of here. Fat burger ball.
Every time a Diamondback hits a homer this season, Fulton Holmes Throws in $150 to the Central Arizona Mountain Rescue Association. They may throw in a fat burger as well.
Very strange 2 innings here for Chris Carpenter. Once again, easily mows through the first 2 hitters of the inning. Then a double, a hit batsman, and a bomb off the bat of Justin Upton.
Goodness.
That was killed.
That's a good 45 rows of seats and then another 15 feet up.
3-1 now to Stephen Drew.
Wow. It's about to give you some numbers on Justin, and it's interesting. He homered as the pitch came home. We'll watch Drew play this at bat through. Popped it up. Long run. Sliding. A trio of Cardinals come together, unable to make the play. All 7 base runners, all 5 runs for Arizona have come with 2 outs and another chance for Stephen Drew.
A lot of bodies coming together at the same time. Freese couldn't make the play. So we'll wait for everybody to get back there to their positions, and we'll do it again.
So Upton, to this point in the season, it's only game number 10, is striking out at half the pace that he has struck out previous in his career. Half the pace, Justin Upton. Very interesting. That's why I thought it would be a nice test. A guy that struck him out 8 of 11 at bats. Bouncing ball to short. Not only are the strikeouts down, that's a good thing, but he's hungry. I mean, real hungry. Justin Upton.
Looking for some red meat, isn't he?
Yeah. I'll take a fat burger. Give me some mustard. Yeah. After he trots around the diamond with a no-doubt home run, a truly memorable home run. I mean, Upton and Reynolds, we've been watching them do it here for several years before Mark was traded away to Baltimore. Is there another home run to speak of? Colby Rasmus drops those hands in. Boy, it's just batting practice night at Chase. 5-3 the score. They're just handing out tokens everywhere. Colby Rasmus was his 2nd home run of the year.
Well, they say solo home runs don't beat you. Well, Orlando Colorado's putting that little saying to the test right here. That's 3 solo home runs now for the St. Louis Cardinals. A high, towering, majestic long ball.
Albert takes away 1-0 the count.
Boy, Razzle. We got ourselves knee deep in a slugfest here.
We really do.
Sit back and enjoy it, folks.
Glad to have American League Baseball right here on Fox Sports Arizona. The 2-0. Albert did the off.
Go, Albert!
This is like a Blue Jays game.
Very good call. Hearing it a bit from the Diamondbacks dugout. Surprised Montero didn't chirp even more. Bouncing ball. Ryan Roberts plays it right at his jersey. Shuffles it on across in time for the out. On 3-0, true?
3-0 pitch right there. Boy, if you're Armando Galarraga, you're saying thank you so much.
Here is Matt Holliday. Has that left rabbit ear hanging out of his backside with that pocket coming out. Some will do it by accident, some will do it on purpose.
What do you think the reason's for? Distract the pitcher?
I just think it's habit, and I think it's superstition. I don't think it's to distract the pitcher. Is it? Give us some insight.
I don't know. That's why I was thinking, I wonder why they would do it on purpose. Just
habit,
superstition, maybe?
Superstition. Now, I don't know if that's the case for Holliday. Some guys grow their hair real long.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you never know. Bouncing ball out to short. That's Stephen Drew. And a nice play as he shoots it on across for the second out of the inning. You know, to go back to Albert in that 3-0 swing, he hacked at a National League leading 3-0 pitch 11 times last year. 11 times.
And what was his batting average on those, I wonder? Probably pretty good.
We'll get the library book out.
Because that is it is very frustrating as a hitter. I wasn't a big 3-0 swinger. I didn't do it very often. I did it a handful of times. But, boy, it was frustrating if you made an out on 3-0 pitch. I mean, really frustrating. You feel like you just gave the pitcher an out.
0-1 the count. And a lot of times you hear attack that 3-0 pitch and pull it and drive it. Well, Stephen Drew on 3-0 drove it the other way on his 3-0 pitch.
That's exactly right.
For a double.
Yeah, he let the ball travel, did a beautiful job with it. So everything's wonderful on a changeup there from Galarraga. Everything's wonderful when you come through on a 3-0 pitch. But, boy, it is frustrating. I mean, very frustrating when you just let the pitcher off the hook on 3-0 and make an out.
Inside.
And especially if you don't even hit the ball hard. But I ain't going to argue with Albert Pujols. He's free to do whatever he wants to do in the box.
I have that number for you, by the way.
Okay.
The 3-2. Base hit, right field, Lance Berkman. So Berkman, who has now rolled off 4 quality at-bats in a row, 3 homers and a single, finds the right side against Galarraga. 5-3 our score.
You're looking at a man who's locked in right now, and Lance Berkman just swats it past Branyan and Johnson. Now frees an opportunity. He's homered as well in this ball game.
Albert swung those 11 times. Pujols at 3-0 pitches. Fouled off a handful.
Mm-hmm.
The ones he put in play, he was 4 for 5, 800.
Enough said. That's why he does it. Got away with a bit of a hanging slider there, but looked like Freese was looking for a fastball, so he took it for strike 1.
Elbow underneath that one, pushed it uphill a bit. I told you coming on the air when it's right, his slider's as good as we've seen.
He's going to try to go inside with the fastball. He got it there.
Up the ladder, Stephen Drew hauls it in.
It's the Arizona Diamondbacks on top of the St. Louis Cardinals, 5-3. Mark McClune back with you. We've made our way approximately 465 feet from home plate, right in front of Fatburger, standing right where the Justin Upton home run just landed. Everybody in the ballpark still in awe talking about this one. We know it's 465 feet because right behind me is a sign that says 470 feet from home plate. This one hit right where I'm standing, off the back wall, and then shot out into the concourse. Guys, there's no one actually here that was at Fatburger when Mark Reynolds hit his home run out here to compare the two, but how would the two of you compare the Upton home run and the one that Mark Reynolds hit out here?
Well, hold on. I'm going to ask Gracie as Young shoots that one down the line, but we need to keep you on the horn if that's okay.
Absolutely.
Okay, here, Gracie. Why don't you help us? That's Justin's homer. I mean, how would you compare it?
I think that one was more on a line, whereas Mark Reynolds was a towering fly ball that took a long time to land out there. That one was just on a line.
The 1-2 to Young.
What about you?
Well, I have a thought on it. Big Mac, you still with us?
Still here.
Okay, can we get some fat burgers?
The turkey burger or the regular?
I like red meat.
Yeah, one of each,
right.
I think.
I'm just going to go in line.
Well, I don't want you paying for it, though. I mean, tell them you know Mark Grace.
I was going to say, because Darren sure is not going to pay for it.
So
in line right now, and 2 fat burgers coming up.
All right, we'll check back in with you in a bit. Thank you, Mark. Base hit left field, Chris Young. Brought his hands in nicely.
Carpenter's starting to get a little bit frustrated. Feels like he made a pretty good pitch there.
Did he?
Yeah, I thought that pitch was probably an inch or two inside with some good tail on it. What do you think? Sometimes good pitches get hit. If you can see Carpenter here, he'll kind of just stare down Chris Young like, how the heck did you just do that?
So Chris has a 6-game hitting streak now. He's got 9 hits in those 6 games as Russell breaks his bat, dumps it into left center field. Young looking to go first to third and does. Russell Branyan shooting it the other way. A little broken bat, dying quail into left field. Russell will take it. He's walked and he is singled against Carpenter.
Right off the very end of the bat, he breaks his bat. And he's so doggone strong. And a good read by Chris Young. Thinking third all the way. He gets there without even a throw. Something the Diamondbacks didn't do very often last year. First to third. It's a lot more fun to watch this year.
And with regard to taking the extra bases, the percentage of times they did so when they could have, they were the lowest in the National League.
And there's that same situation. Bob Davidson, the old vet. Oh, you thought the first one was bad? Wait till you see this next one. I think Gibby's out of here.
Gibby just got thrown. The entire dugout on him as well. Kirk Gibson taking up for his player.
That was big league right there. Do it, Gibby. And do it, Bob Davidson. Gibby not done yapping yet. I'm not going, he says.
Alan Trammell's his bench coach. When he's ready, he'll turn it over to Trammell. When he's ready. Skipper Kirk Gibson.
Taken up from Miguel Montero because he felt like Bob Davidson probably still had a little chip on his shoulder with Miguel Montero, so Instead of getting his catcher thrown out of the game, he got thrown out of the game. That is what a manager's supposed to do. And now Miguel Montero's got to calm himself down, slow things down, try not to hit a 3-run homer here because his manager just bit the bullet for him. He knows he wants to take care of his manager. But by the same token, he's got to calm things down and let the game come to him.
0-2 the count. Miggy waves at a pitch in the dirt, and he goes down on strikes. Let's go back to what got the dugout fired up, and specifically Kirk Gibson. My goodness.
Yeah, once again, same thing.
Wow.
And then it didn't take long for Gibby to get run. Cap to cap. And excuse me, kind sir, but I think you may have been mistaken. I could read his lips. That's exactly what he said.
I tell you what, you look at those faces up and down that bench, one of those moments, and this is one of the first times we've been able to see it.
That was big league.
And that's why. You hear the reaction of the guy sitting to my right, folks? That's why that's so crucial that a manager takes up for his players. This former player ready to go to war for Kirk Gibson. How do you think his players feel, Gracie?
No, the same way. But once again, we saw Miguel Montero want to go to war so badly, swung at a pitch over his head and then won 3 feet in front of the plate. You still have to slow things down and let the game come to you. Kirk Gibson was fabulous there. Nothing like a good old-fashioned Donnybrook with the umpire and the manager. Bob Davidson and Kirk Gibson, they've known each other for years.
They just had it out.
Doggone right. It's a part of baseball. It's a dying breed, but I love it. Did I say that was big league yet?
It definitely was, and you did say it. 0-1 the count to Armando Galarraga.
By the same token, you want to keep this momentum if you can. You got to find a way to get a couple of runs across here if you can.
Bouncing ball going on contact. He just did a run.
Right there
Armando
it is.
Galarraga.
That's all it takes. The pitcher putting the ball in play. If you put the ball in play in that situation, good things can happen. If you strike out, nothing good's going to happen. Nicely done by Galarraga.
By the way, 35 starts Carpenter made last year. In those 35 starts, only twice did he give up 6 or more runs. Only twice. He's given up 6 in this one. That's Galarraga's first ever RBI. 6 or more earned runs. Lundqvist pops it up to right field. So the troops add another one. The commander-in-chief took up for him. Old school style. Your thoughts on that, Mr. Grace?
That was big league.
it and you head back in with your cup of coffee. That picture might be on your morning edition right there.
Cap to cap, nose to nose, scruff to scruff.
And Kirk Gibson ejected for the first time as a major league manager, dating to his time as an interim manager going back to last year, by Bob Davidson, taking up for Miguel Montero. Now, Alan Trammell has spent plenty of time as a manager, managing the Detroit Tigers for several seasons as a bench coach. This is no level of discomfort for him. Ready to take up for his skipper.
That's the first time we've seen Gibby get run. And I hope it ain't the last, because that was awesome. That was awesome.
But could you think of a better time?
He had every right to go out there and bark at Bob Davidson. Bob Davidson trying to teach well, I'm not really going to call Miguel Montero a young player anymore. He's a veteran. He's 5 years in the game now. But I think Bob Davidson was trying to teach Montero a bit of a lesson, and good for Gibby.
Into the dirt it goes. Another run added. It would be nice, although nothing comes easy. It would be nice for a nice brisk inning for Galarraga here.
Absolutely. And also, boy, there ain't a player on the field right now in a Diamondbacks uniform or in the dugout that doesn't think for 1 second that their manager doesn't have their back. Kirk Gibson just proved that to a T. That's a good feeling as a player.
The 2-1. Take it out of the catcher's mitt. We'll do it again. 2-2 the count. And he at times wore him out in spring. Mentally, physically pushed him, tested him, and then had a chance in this situation to show, as you said, that he was behind him, and there was no doubt. He initially chirped from the dugout, kept his spot, but then when it went to the next level, he was there for his catcher. Bouncing ball and to the bag. Skip Schumacher is erased. Here's the first, Gracie.
Okay. That's the swing. It was called. Montero upset. Bob Davidson not liking what Montero said. Well, Groundhog Day, the third inning, same situation, and that's enough for Gibby. That's enough for Gibby. And he let Bob Davidson know in so many wonderful words that he was not happy with that call. I can't get enough of that.
Never touched him. Right there within the rules.
Man, he's not. If he gets fined for that, Darren, you'll pay it.
I appreciate that. If it's,
he better not get fined for that.
I will clearly pay it, Gracie. Anything up to like $7.50, I've got it covered.
Okay. Like a Happy Meal.
0-2 the count.
Didn't get the call. I would imagine Bob Davidson's kind of tired. Having a Donnybrook like that'll
get you worked up a little
man,
bit. Wear you out.
Make you tired. Get that blood pumping, that chest heaving.
2-2 the count. On across the diamond. By the way, Gracie, when you head to Taco Bell tomorrow between 4 and 6 and you purchase a large drink, you will receive 3 free tacos from our good friends from Taco Bell at participating location. And you'll be asked immediately to pick your sauce. Mild, hot, or fire?
Fire.
Fire. I would imagine you'd want to pick the sauce that the skipper would pick. That's fire.
Oh, man, he doggone right. Is there a...
Galarraga, there's that inning we were looking for now with the tag.
I think Gibby would like nuclear.
Nuclear.
Oh, yeah. Vesuvius.
Right there on your taco. Nice. Our AT&T trivia question: name the 4 All-Star pitchers to play for both Arizona and St. Louis. The 4 All-Star pitchers to play for both Arizona and St. Louis. An All-Star at any point in their career.
Kurt Warner.
No. Not the Rams and not football.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Hop online, hop on D-Backs booth on Twitter and see if you can get that one right. By the way, Gracie, some folks are posting some notes I thought you might like. This is from Lancaster. Gibby is the guy who you want in your foxhole. Go D-Backs.
Yeah, and there is no question about that. Thank you from Lancaster.
Another one coming across. All right, now get Baylor, Williams, and Trammell into the act. Boys will be boys.
That's certainly somebody that watches us.
Jerry says that one.
Good to hear from you, Jerry.
Another one. I love Gibby. Standing up for your players. That was big league. On the ground. Kelly Johnson is there. And throwing in time for the out. That one comes from Adam Trace. You can join us on D-Backs booth on Twitter. Certainly with your comments. You can also email the booth, foxsportsarizona.com. We will get some of your comments. Justin Upton homered, and it was, as we told you, a monstrous homer. And he took a look at it. Carpenter took a look at him taking a look at it.
Well, eventually talent does come back and get you. And the talented Chris Carpenter had worn out Justin Upton, but eventually a great hitter and a great talent's going to get you. And that's what happened. Beautiful breaking ball there to Justin.
We want to thank the folks at Fat Burger for sending
a
snack over.
Delish.
The 0-2. In on 0-2. None surprised up here. 1 and 2 the count.
0-2 pitch.
The
Nothing
good
wrong with
0-2
that.
pitch.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
Slow curveball, bounced out. Upton up the line, they got it. West High Speed Internet high speed pitch. Carpenter 94 miles an hour. Galarraga 95 miles an hour.
Galarraga 95, huh?
That's what they're saying. I've seen him touch 94 a couple of times.
That's pretty good fastball from Galarraga.
Pitch is low and inside. One and 0 the count to Drew. That one sails up and out of there. Steven doubled in a run in the first inning. A 3-0 swing of the bat. Grounded out to short. Steven into right center field. It's down. They'll bust it hard, at least make them make a play. They do so. How about Steven Drew? He's 2 for 3. Has 8 hits already on the season in 19 at-bats.
He just goes out and hooks an outside fastball right over the second baseman, Skip Schumacher's head. And softly out there in front of Colby Rasmussen. Gives Chris Young an opportunity here with 2 outs. These are the innings that have come back to bite Chris Carpenter. You get 2 quick outs and then make some mistakes and give up some runs.
That one bounces in there. 1-0 the count. 3 runs, 6 hits, no errors for the Cardinals. 6 runs, 7 hits, and no errors for the Diamondbacks. One and 0. Russell Branyan waits on deck. High drive, deep left field. Chris Young got him. 2 outs again.
Boy, that is a pattern that I've never seen from Chris Carpenter. for the third time this game, he gives up multiple runs after easily disposing of the first two hitters of the inning. He did it in the first, he did it in the second, and now it happens in the fourth as Chris Young this time, bam! Into left center it goes, about 10 rows deep. Didn't go as far as Justin Upton's, but it counts just as much as Justin Upton's, and the Diamondbacks just continue to put a pounding on Chris Carpenter.
That's a fair ball. Branyan is beaten to the bag by Carpenter. 8 earned runs. 2 out damage doled out tonight from the Arizona Diamondbacks. They lead by 5. Cardinals. Dan Herron. We just got a guess of Dan Herron.
Mike Morgan. He played for everybody.
He certainly did. Ricky Bottalico, Andy Bennis. On D-Backs booth on Twitter, Josh Bellin Gallagher guessed Dan Herron.
That's a good guess.
So back to work goes Armando Galarraga. So for Chris Carpenter, it is the biggest blow up on the mound he has had, the worst start for Carpenter since September 23rd, 2005. Now, mind you, he's had Tommy John surgery and missed significant time in between, but still been healthy the last couple of years, since 2005 against Milwaukee, in which he gave up 9 earned runs.
In how many innings?
In that outing, he went 5 1/3 innings, gave up 9 earned runs. Did not give up a homer, gave up 12 hits in that game. Hot shot, foul ball.
It looks to me like he's still in the ball game. Nobody getting loose for the Cardinals right now. So I would imagine Chris Carpenter going to head right back out there again for the 5th.
Some interesting names, Gracie, having big nights the last time Carpenter was belted around.
Let me guess. Jeremy Burnitz.
Lyle Overbay was 3 for 5 with a pair of RBIs. Bill Hall was 4 for 4 with a pair of RBIs. Damian Miller managed to reach. He caught as well. And the last time Chris Carpenter was batted around like that, I was behind the microphone.
Really? So you have a fond memory of it, I'm sure.
Like it was yesterday.
You didn't remember it all, did you?
No. Fouled off the end of the bat. But now after I see the box score and see all those names, still don't remember. Remember the names.
I'm sure he's probably put that out of his mind many, many years ago. But boy, having a night to forget tonight so far.
And this is one of the game's big winners, as that one has popped up to the right side and into the seats it goes. Carpenter has 50 games over 500 in his career. 3.79 ERA. He's a Cy Young winner in 2005. 15 or more wins 5 times. 200 or more innings pitched 4 times. He's got a sub-3 ERA in 9 postseason starts.
Simply said, he's one of the best pitchers in the game.
To the right side, and that's a foul ball. Ryan Theriot. Since 08, speaking of Theriot, as you see the numbers on Carpenter, there's that win-loss total. Theriot stacking up the singles. Since 2008, only Derek Jeter has more singles.
Really?
Singles.
That's going to be a double.
Single. Rolls on around. And into second goes Theriot with a double. There's his first of the season. Not usually known for a slugging percentage over 400.
Takes a fastball running in and just cuts it right off and rifles it down the left field line. Big inning here for Galarraga. Your offense has been pounding the baseball against a real formidable foe in Chris Carpenter. And you need to keep the St. Louis Cardinals at bay because they've got the heart of the order now. That's a good start. That's a really good start.
The slider?
That was a slider, just kind of stayed right there. Rasmus kind of jammed himself. Maybe looking for something away. Well, you love one pitch, one out. Just doesn't really do a whole lot, but just stay right down the middle, and Rasmus just did nothing with it.
And
now
now
it's Mr. Pujols.
Albert digs in. Holiday waits on deck. Singled, grounded out to third. .330 career hitter. Or just a hanging slider for strike one. 0-1 the count. 409 career home runs, 1,200 career RBIs, and nearly 1,000 walks already in his career. Take us inside of his approach for a second, Gracie, just the way he seems so peaceful at the plate.
It's one of the simplest approaches you'll ever see. No wasted movement at all. We just had, for the Cincinnati Reds series, remember Brandon Phillips, how much movement's going on, how much he moves the bat around. Watch this very little wasted movement. Just kind of stand right there like a statue. Okay, here we go. Front leg doesn't do much.
Get on the line. It's a base hit into left center field. Having to freeze for long enough was Theriot. Otherwise, that doesn't drive in a run. So Pujols is now 2 for 3. I think you'll have a chance to talk even more about the approach now.
Just very little movement. Catches it right off the end of the bat, but he's so doggone strong. He doesn't have to hit it on the barrel to get it past a would-be infielder. Everything just stays back and even lunging a little bit. Kind of out in front of that just a shade. But he's just so doggone good. He doesn't have to hit it hard to get a base hit. Turning point hitter right here for Armando Galarraga and the Arizona Diamondbacks. The dangerous Matt Holliday. Only one out.
Fouls it off. I want to revisit one more time. When someone says his bat, Albert, stays in the zone for a long time, what does that mean?
Well, it'll probably start about right here and stay in the zone to about right here. Let's take a look.
Wow.
That's exactly the way it was. That's how long that bat stayed level through the hitting zone. Just perfectly level from point A to point B.
Line drive center field. 8-4 is the score. Well, Alan Trammell, as the acting manager, might start thinking bullpen pretty soon here.
Well, you got a red hot hitter in Berkman coming to the dish. Nobody warming up in the bullpen right now. So right now it's Galarraga's game. He just needs to get the ball down in the strike zone. Earlier today, lined one into the right field seats. That's his third home run in just 2 games here in this series. He's also singled to right field as well. So a scalding Lance Berkman with an opportunity to get his ball club right back in the thick of things.
And he loves this ballpark. Pulls that ball on the ground. Brandon in between. Nice play, Russell Brandon. Not an easy play by the man who at times has been told you're growing into a DH.
That was a terrific play.
Tell us why.
On the pickup and on the throw. If we get another shot of it. Watch the pickup with the backhand in between pickup and then the perfect throw to Stephen Drew to get the lead runner. Really a great play from Brandon. Somehow missed the runner.
What do you have to do there as a right-handed throwing first baseman? Clear yourself as far as you can?
As far as you can. Try to clear yourself, and that means try to give the shortstop a look that's not behind the runner.
Well, with a big out to get the runner at second.
Another big batter here for Galarraga.
Slider. 1-0 the count to David Freese.
Freese also is homered to center field in this slugfest here at Chase Field. Nice play by Montero, saving a run.
Freese received a unique compliment from his manager, Tony La Russa, as you can see the base runners he has that he hopes to drive in. La Russa said, and I quote, "I like him because he doesn't get overjoyed with himself."
I like it.
Freese says that comes from my father. His dad,
a humble young man.
Made sure that I didn't get too low, which is also important. Doesn't get overjoyed with himself. Outside, 3-0 the count. It's an interesting way to pay a compliment, and a fine compliment.
Right now, Galarraga playing with fire.
Schumacher waits on deck. 8-4 the score. Outside. Those of you somewhat new to the game of baseball, if you want to take advantage of these 8 runs, and if you want to win a ball game, you've got to finish 5 innings.
You got to get one more out if you're Armando Galarraga. The starting pitcher has to go a full 5 innings to get a win. If he's not able to get through this, it doesn't matter what the score is when he leaves. He will not be the victor. And while we have a break in the action, follow the D-backs with MLB.com at Bat11 for your iPhone, iPad, Android, or BlackBerry. Get live audio, pitch-by-pitch tracking, video highlights, and more. Text @BAT 31826 or visit dbacks.com for details. Right now, the only detail Galarraga wants is somehow, some way disposing of Skip Schumacher.
Right down Broadway.
Here it is. Let's play baseball, and he got away with that one.
Skip at 282 on the year. He doubled back in the second inning. Oh, and 1 the count. Bases loaded. Outside. Wouldn't offer.
And there's that piercing bullpen phone. Who's the bullpen coach tonight? Probably Aaron Heilman answering that phone. Or is that J.J. Putz? Yeah, that's J.J.
And that happens because Glenn Sherlock, the usual bullpen coach, is coaching third base for Arizona in the place of Matt Williams, who has a broken foot. Did you get an injury update from Matt, by the way? Is he feeling any better?
He's going to go get looked at again tomorrow by the doctor to see how he's doing. As Sam Demmel's getting loose down in the bullpen. Huge pitch right here. You don't want to go 3-1. Oh, he got the swing. That time Schumacher disagrees with Bob Davidson.
And a Bronx cheer for Bob.
And a bit of a neener from the crowd. That's, well, at least Davidson's consistent on that call.
You better not offer your hitters.
At the end of the day, that's all you can ask. Yeah, you better not even flinch if you're a hitter tonight.
2-2, Deuce is wild. Bases loaded. 8-4, Arizona leads it. Into the dirt, important. Miguel Montero puts his nose on it. Runners will be on the move. "97 pitches. Armando is crawling to his own finish line.
He's leaking oil, isn't he? All right, Armando. What's left in the tank?
Venezuelan native steps off. Last year pitched 144 innings with an ERA of 4.4 and won just 4 games.
We'll see if he has the heart of a champion right here or not.
The 3-2 pitch. Down, ball 4. He walked in a run. Well, this makes it tough on a manager. By the way, the pitcher spot 2, should you make a move, is due up third next inning. That's the other part.
Right, that's the problem. That's the problem. That's why you have to, you really have no choice. You've got to trust Galarraga to get this third out. I don't think Demmel's ready anyway yet. He just got up not very long ago.
And Joe Patterson joined him, the left-hander.
A tough out here in Yadier Molina. Danger, Will Robinson.
Bouncing ball out to Ryan Roberts. Fires it on over. Well, he made it to the 5th inning.
Woo.
Play is manager sticking up for player, showing his catcher that he's got his back. The rest I'll leave to you, Mark Grace.
Yeah, it was just the perfect storm right there between Bob Davidson and Kirk Gibson. This is the first time we've seen Gibby go at it. And that was beautiful. That's just good old-fashioned baseball right there.
I got an email I think you'll like. It came through FoxSportsArizona.com from Farmington, New Mexico. It's from Robert Kemp. And he says, simply put, Bobby Cox would be proud.
Oh, and then some. I don't think Bobby ever lit up somebody like that. Bobby didn't move as fast as Gibby.
No. He got you once he got there, though.
Oh, yeah, he did. Oh, that was classic. Nobody got hurt. Nobody touched each other. There was a little spit flying. That was kind of big league. But you just don't see that much anymore.
No, you don't. Talent takes his fastball and runs it up and out of the zone. Brian, a rising call to the bullpen, has been unscored upon in 4 appearances. He's out of LSU. Indians originally, second-round pick in 2000 out of LSU as Miggy takes inside. Drafted by the Rangers out of high school, then part of LSU's national championship team in 2000. Was a starting pitcher on that team. Won 15 games. Oh, Miggy, high drive. Off the base of the wall. Hustle on down there, partner. He's in there with a double. Crowd loving it. Kirk Gibson, the other thing he did, he let his players know that he had his back. He engaged this crowd, too.
Absolutely. A lot of things, a lot goes into one of those storms like that. Miggy gets on top of a high fastball there. Drives it right off the center of the wall in right center field. So leadoff double. I don't think any team's going to have enough runs tonight the way things are going.
It's kind of fun.
Yeah, this is one that's going to legitimately go to the 27th out.
Here's Ryan Roberts. Hot shot into center field. Stop sign. And you had your hands up. You were coaching third. Explain why you throw the anchor down there if you're Glenn Sherlock.
Well, first and foremost, Montero had to wait and see that ball go through the infield first, and then by the time he got to third, Rasmus was on it. And Rasmus has a very good arm, so Glenn Sherlock did the right thing, holding the runner. And we've got a pinch hitter now, Melvin Mora, for Armando Galarraga. So Galarraga will leave with, he can only win it. Nice job by Ryan Roberts right there, too. Banging it right back where it came from. Set up another possible big inning.
Frustrated with himself, but you don't give those back. You may have one of those in August where you go 8 1/3 and give up 1 run and either lose or have a no decision. You take these as a pitcher.
Like one of those that Daniel Hudson had the other night. Go 7 and some change, give up 2 runs and get a loss.
Oh, boy. Moore dropped his shoulder, lifts that one to the left field. Should be enough. Let's see. Holiday to the plate, cut off. Runner moves up as well. That's an RBI for pinch hitter Melvin Mora.
And great base running as well by Roberts at first base. He saw the throw come into third. He tagged up at first base and went to second. Great heads-up base running by Ryan Roberts. And good fundamental hitting there by Melvin Mora. Plenty deep enough to left field. There's the high fly ball. And Holiday, thinking he might be able to get Montero at the plate, comes into the plate. Ryan Roberts tagging up all the way, gets to second base. Good stuff.
Willie Bloomquist with the runner in the scoring position takes a breaking ball for strike 1 at the belt. Willie doubled and scored back in the second inning. And in doing so, Willie is Well, still hitting every game in which he has played as a member of the Diamondbacks. That's 9 games. Hitting a robust .366. The Arizona State Sun Devil alum. Took that one right out of the catcher's mitt. So we'll do it again. Bouncing ball. And in time for the out. So Bloomquist is 1 for 4. Well, you know, you folks have been asking already this season, what in the world is Kachinko? You find out and you learn how you can play right here at Chase. You go to the interactive kiosk near section 111 during Diamondbacks regular season home games. It's fun for one and all. It was fun all winter long in the garage with the kids. That's where I let the folks at Gila store it. And now you can have a chance to come out and play it at the ballpark.
You have to. You owe it to yourself, folks.
It's a lot of fun, and we'll head out there at some point and do a show from out there as Kelly pops that one into the seats. Can I give you gave a quick family mention last night?
Sure.
Talking about the Kachinko, my 13-year-old Abby sent me a 2-word text. Gibby, ... nice.
Good for you, Abby. I think we're all fired up about that.
All over the valley.
Yeah, Bob Davidson got me just as fired up as well. That's just going toe-to-toe, nose-to-nose.
Now remember, before the game, in a very laid-back manner, he threw you out of the game from the booth.
Yes, he did.
He was all smiles then.
Yeah, I'm still here. He was all smiles until Gibby came out and gave him an earful, a nose full, a mouth full.
And don't forget, must-see TV on our post-game show. Kirk Gibson on Quest Diamondbacks Live. We'll get his side.
I can't wait to hear that.
The 2-1. That's high. 3-1 the count.
And knowing Gibby the way I think I know him, and as Bob Davidson, I've known him for years too, it's over. It's over with. They've had their say. It's over with.
Here's Alan Trammell, the pride of Kearney High School in San Diego, the acting manager. Swing and a miss, 3-2 the count. And don't forget, Quest Diamondbacks Live will come your way at about 1:30 in the morning at this pace. Look forward to bringing it to you. Have some Quest Diamondbacks Live with your breakfast.
That's right.
The 3-2. Breaking ball. Well, Kelly will take that.
Well, gives Justin Upton an opportunity.
Don't forget, this Earth Day, Phoenix Children's Hospital hosts the 3rd annual Keep Our Planet Neat Recycle Your Car Seat event. Stop by the Tempe Marketplace between 8 and noon on Friday, April 22nd. You drop off your old car seat, you have it dismantled, and it's recycled. For more info, visit phoenixchildrens.com. Sagicor Life Insurance helps to support this project, and we thank them for it.
Yes, we do. Justin Upton having himself a nice ball game as well. He's walked, he's homered way out of here. This is where he hit it. Goodness. That's out there near the Kachinko game. Great
call.
game, but really a bad idea to do a game from out there.
2-0 the count. The folks at Fat Burger sent us over a
thanks to Mark
big
McClune.
old burger. Mark McClune, thank you. The fans cheering for you eating that burger. So excited in the background. Go Gracie! Eat more!
I'm showing very little self-control.
Who could? It's amazing. 2-0 the count.
And it looks like they're pitching around Justin Upton here to get to the left-handed hitting Stephen Drew on deck. Yadier Molina was about a foot off the plate when he was. Let's see where he sits behind the plate here. He was almost a good foot off the plate when he got in his crouch. Look how far he's off the plate. And he went on the plate with the fastball. That was not by design. He was trying to go off the plate.
3-0 swing,
Justin Upton swinging 3-0 there. Why not? It's one of those nights. Let's watch Yadier Molina again. If he was sitting almost a foot off the plate there. That's more where he wants it. They're going to try to take their chances with the left-handed hitting Stephen Drew.
Well, let's see how that works out for them. Unintentional, intentional walk Drew.
I mean, those were strikes when Joe Borowski was pitching. You could sit out there like that. Joe would hit that glove, strike.
That must have been when he was a Brave. When every Brave got 3, 4, 5 inches off either side of the plate.
Smoltz, Glavine, Maddox, Borowski.
Set up out there. Joe will be breaking it down in the postgame show. Stephen Drew, that's a fair ball. Pujols leaves his feet, fires. Got it. Wow! What a play by Pujols. Talent covering.
Great play on both ends.
A huge job. And a pickup right there on aisle 7 around first base. These two tumble together. He got him.
More exciting nights in recent Chase Field memory, and it started with an appearance by hometown Cardinal Larry Fitzgerald during batting practice today for the Diamondbacks. Now, he's an all-pro receiver, but had some trouble in the cage. He got a little help from Don Baylor, and after that, made some contact. But afterwards, it was Larry Fitzgerald saying, I'm going to say this first. I'm taking this off the list of things that I would think about even trying to do if the lockout goes into the season. Fitzgerald's actually hosting a charity softball tournament, a game, March the 16th out at Salt River Fields. Darnell Dockett, Adrian Wilson, and Kurt Warner are going to be there. And guys, if you can make it, which jersey do you think you'd wear out to support your favorite player?
Ooh, I don't know. That's a good question. I think it'd be a Willie Bloomquist jersey. That's what I'd wear.
Does it have to be a football player or a baseball player?
Cam Micolayo takes over, the big, tall right-hander.
Yes.
That could be whoever you want.
I like Larry Fitzgerald. I'll wear his jersey.
4th appearance of the year. Micolayo and David Hernandez, between the two of them, have pitched more than 8 innings, allowing just 2 runs. Both of them doing great work.
Well, the Diamondbacks, Alan Trammell, Gibby, all the like, they're going to have to piece together 4 innings of bullpen. Cam Micolayo, it's your stage.
Pinch hitter John Jay fouls that one off. By the way, Mr. Fitzgerald, they were kind to him in the editing. He scuffled getting it warmed up. You saw Mr. Baylor, Don Baylor, come out and talk to him. He was about donut hole for 20 on making contact in the first 24 pitches or so. Up and in. So which sport, Gracie, is the hardest to play? 3-6-9, 2-9, baseball, football, basketball, or hockey? All sorts of different reasons you can answer. Mr. Fitzgerald is a wonderful all-pro gifted wide receiver on his way to a Hall of Fame career. He has just been wonderful every time he gets onto a football field. It's just this isn't
his cup of tea. I think Jeff Matu's just throwing too hard.
Is he?
That's just not right.
Okay. Into the dirt. He bounces it.
Come on, Tuz. Got to ease up a little bit.
He was giving him the business back there.
Well, I can tell you one thing Larry's not doing is watching the ball.
High pop up and into the seats.
He's probably hearing footsteps from a free safety coming in to maybe hammer him after he makes a catch.
I found an interesting study recently I'd love for you to weigh in on from a panel of experts and scientists.
It's not Wednesday.
From the United States Olympic Committee. That one is high. It's ball 4. A leadoff walk. I love this part.
Give him a little advice.
Watch. Mr. Baylor telling him, you're trying to hit everything over there. You don't want to be looking out to left field. Gibby listening the entire time right up against the screen, smiling.
Yeah, see Don Baylor saying, yeah, you're pulling your head. I'll tell you what, there's not a better pair of hands in all of football than that guy's.
Pitches away, and then, right away after the advice, he put in play.
Atta baby, Larry. Gibby, Sean Rashow, the governor back there giving some advice.
Is he now?
Yeah.
Greg Schulte, the radio voice of the Diamondbacks. 1-1 the count. Anyway, there's this panel of experts, Gracie. United States Olympic Committee scientists, academics, those who study science and muscles and movement, rank degree of difficulty, all sorts of things considered. Baseball, 9th.
The hardest game to play?
9th. Boxing, the most difficult.
Well, yeah, you get your brains beat in.
Ice hockey, number 2.
Well, I can't skate, so that would be probably the hardest for me.
Football, number 3.
Very difficult.
Basketball, number 4. 1-1 the count. Into the seats.
So they say hitting a baseball is the 9th hardest thing to do?
Wrestling. Martial arts. Tennis.
What?
Gymnastics. Baseball.
Gymnastics? Like, I can get on the monkey bars.
I think there's a little bit more to gymnastics than that.
See, I think hockey because I can't skate. And then I don't like getting elbowed and checked.
I have an interesting note to put a little bow on it. As that one goes into the dirt, we try and get Cam Michalio into the strike zone. The last place finisher, as you look on down in the top 15 anyway.
Badminton.
Steer wrestling.
Is the easiest?
That would be the easiest in the top 15.
No, thank you.
It sounds easy to me.
These things got horns.
Panel of experts, sports scientists from the United States Olympic Committee.
Well, who are these people? These are morons. Yeah, go on. Just take down a steer, folks. That ought to be easy.
Fought off to the right side. Upton's got a long way to go. He'll have to play it on a hop. And so there are runners on first and third. St. Louis Cardinals leaning on the Diamondbacks yet again. Michalio, the big, tall right-hander acquired from the Baltimore Orioles this winter, has his hands full. The 26-year-old righty out of Montana.
Yeah, Terrio just fights it off and drops it right inside the right field line. right back come these St. Louis Cardinals. A leadoff walk, that's the worst thing that can happen when you come into a ball game is walk the leadoff man. Because now guess what? With a 4-run lead, you're going to have to go through some tough son of a guns in this Cardinal lineup, and starts right here with Rasmus.
Alabama native Colby Rasmus. Miguel Montero sets outside. That got a lot of home plate down the line, and it's a foul ball. Mikolayo has seen time in the major leagues on 3 separate occasions in 2008, 9, and 10 for Baltimore. Fastball, curveball, kind of a slurvy curveball, a lower arm angle, and a changeup.
Gas right to the inside corner, beautifully executed there by Mikolayo.
No balls and 2 strikes to count. Cam in his minor league career struck out 9.9 batters per 9 innings. One and 2. That list goes 60 deep, by the way. I look forward to maybe bringing it up another time down the road.
Love to know how they decide these things.
The 1-2. Tried to go back in there and missed it.
Grab your bat and go ahead and hit Cam Mikolayo here. See how easy it is. Huge pitch right here for Mikolayo.
And it's lined into right center field for a base hit. A huge pitch. The Cardinals double down and get a big result. He has yet to retire a member of the St. Louis Cardinals, and tonight a starting pitcher struggled to get through the 5th. The man who comes right behind him cannot retire anyone thus far in the 6th.
I would imagine the bullpen phone got to be ringing sometime soon. Fastball right down the middle. Rasmus just hammers it out into right center. First and third once again. And we got Albert Pujols standing in the box representing the tying run.
Bullpen is quiet. Coming into today, Pujols just 2 of 13 this year with runners in scoring position. That's a 154 clip. In his career, 345 with runners in scoring position. He picked up a hit earlier in that situation. Not very Albert-like.
First pitch swinging at a fastball in. Mikolayo's done a good job of getting to 2 strikes on all 3 batters that he's faced. But then he hadn't been able to put them away.
Albert has not walked this year, not once.
That's unbelievable.
With a runner in scoring position. That pitch is low into the dirt. This is a hitter, too, that gets walked a lot with ducks on the pond. But now Holiday's on deck. Cam with the 1-1. Over the top of it.
That looked like a good sinking fastball there. Good pitch there from Mikolayo. Once again, getting to 2 strikes, no problem. Just hadn't been able to get that much-needed third one.
On 1-2. Breaking ball. Got him looking over the outside corner.
And Albert knew it. Boy, what a pitch. You don't see many breaking balls. Let's see all of them here. Fastball in. Fouled off. Missed with a fastball. Nice play by Montero. There's a good sinking fastball. Now right to the outside corner with a breaking ball. And Pujols knew it. Huge pitch. But it doesn't get any easier here.
Oh, and 1 the count. Still just 1 out. Bullpen phone rings as Holiday takes inside. 3 of 4 this year with runners in scoring position. Aaron Heilman answers the phone.
This game is crazy. Just a crazy baseball game, but an entertaining one.
Outside.
Oh, good pitch there. That one ate up Matt Holliday right on his fists. 92 miles an hour with a little run, late run right in on the hands. Just ate him up.
Last one standing in this ball game wins. The 1-2. Popped up. He was late on that fastball. Got 92 miles an hour. Young man began his career with Trammell and Nagy looking on with the Mariners. 18th round pick in 2006. Nearly threw that one to the backstop.
Really a good play there by Montero to save a run again.
Cam has retired 1 Cardinal, and it has taken him 29 pitches to do so.
Once again, he's gotten to strike 2 rather easily on every batter. He was only able to make that put-away pitch to the great Albert Pujols. Wow, what a breaking ball there.
Back-to-back dandies, and he has struck out Pujols and Holiday in succession, both with wicked benders.
3-2. There you see it, and over the top of it goes Holiday. 2 of the better hitters in baseball. But once again, that's all fine and good. But you got Lance Berkman now to deal with as well, representing the tying run. A much better left-handed hitter than right-handed hitter. You've got Patterson locked and loaded in the bullpen, but they're going to go with Michelio here.
Berkman, in a little bit more than 5,200 plate appearances, has 288 homers. And about a third that many from the right side, just 42. Just 42.
Not the power hitter from the right side. Not many more left-handed at-bats, obviously. But a very dangerous left-handed hitter, power-wise.
Into center field, fights that one off, muscles it going first to third. It's not a homer, but it's an RBI, and it certainly is a rally extender. And it is 9-7.
So they decided to let Berkman hit left-handed. It comes back to bite him. Charles Nagy's going to come out and have a conversation with his big right-hander. Red hot hitter gets a fastball right down the middle. Bang, out it goes into center field.
Berkman in his career slugs .588 as a left-handed batter, .410 as a right-handed batter.
That's what we were saying before.
A little bit more on Lance Berkman. Let's bring in Mark McClue. Mark?
Yeah, he's raised his average 80 points coming into the series. Also hit his first 3 home runs of the season. Lance Berkman says he hates the early part of the season because if you get off to a good start, everybody thinks you're going to set records, and if you don't, everybody thinks you're going to have a terrible year. And he's shown in the last 2 games what a difference a couple days can make in Major League Baseball.
Good point, Mark. And I'm thinking that's the older Lance Berkman, or I should say older quotes when you go back, because he has no choice but to have a good start this year. He has suffered some backwards trends over the last few seasons, and these last few days he needs to keep it going. He needs to have a good season.
Absolutely.
A good start.
Absolutely he does. He's off to a good start.
As McClune said, and very accurately, a couple of days can make a big difference.
And right now, that's back-to-back fastballs that Mikolayo has bounced.
All right, 2-0 the count.
Well, be careful with this pitch here. You're 2-0. You're going to have to try to throw a strike. Let's hope you can throw a quality one if you're Cam Mikolayo, because you got a dangerous hitter in the box as well in David Freese. He got him to chase one up and out of the zone.
Coming back our way, and oh my goodness. Steve Gilbert, a fabulous writer for MLB.com. Just a great job. Just literally diving underneath the broadcast, or I should say the press table there.
Ran from it.
The 2-1. Outside, 3-1 the count. It may be a new year, but the courage, it is not at all returned. Just a scared man.
Got zero courage for Christmas.
Boys, he's a wonderful writer. Does a great job. He simply put it in a word, scared. 3-1.
Scary moment here.
Off the end of the bat, 9-8 is the score. Alan Trammell is going to go get the young side-wheeling left-hander. Mikolayo, a really tough outing. West Airlines' new Rapid Rewards, unlimited reward seats, no blackout dates, fries. Like us on Facebook during today's game. Receive a coupon for huge savings. Fresh food, famous low prices, fries. Colorado Tourism. Have your best summer vacation of all time in Colorado. Plan and book today at Colorado.com. Fast, reliable, secure, and heavy-duty internet from Quest. Outside of the convention center.
I don't like scorpions.
I would imagine that's not a real one. Joe Patterson, he's got real stuff from the left side, and I mean from the first base side of the rubber, nearly standing in the visitor's dugout. When he drops down, it looks like it has to be coming from that dugout.
Well, this is the biggest outing of his short career. Beautifully executed there for strike one. Hadn't gotten to pitch in many big situations so far in the early going.
Rising call to the bullpen. Bender didn't get the call. Schumacher in his career hits .207 against lefties, .310 against righties. Huge difference in on base and slug when he's facing a lefty.
See if he goes with the fastball here. No, he went with the bender, and he perfectly executed.
For the love of John Candelaria, strike two.
Watch Schumacher. Yay! Strike.
See if this young man can find a way. A Rule 5 pick. Oregon born and raised. Outside. Was in the Giants organization for 4 seasons. Made available because you have to be put on the 40-man. Was claimed in the Rule 5. Giants 10th round pick in 07.
Throw your best pitch here. Whatever you feel like. Because this is your only batter. If you walk him, you walk him. So I'm throwing that breaking ball again.
Was part of a national championship team at Oregon State.
Montero going to get together with the youngster right now. What do you want to throw? All right, let's do it. Runners are off to a running start here. Berkman and Freeze. Can the young man pull it off?
Runners go. 3-2. Breaking ball belted into the corner. Foul ball.
He went with the breaking ball. Schumacher was waiting on it, but he pulled it just foul. Man. The heck's going on out here tonight, Darren?
It's wild. That would have been his first ever homer against a left-handed pitcher.
Well, usually if you hit a home run foul, the very next pitch you strike out. At least that's the way it was with me.
The 3-2. Breaking ball hangs around. Fought off a good pitch.
That was a much better breaking ball there. That one had some late snap.
Schumacher this past winter worked out with, of all people, Paul Correa. St. Louis Blues star Paul Correa. He said, I've learned a lot from him, preparing not to fail. I'm preparing to win now and succeed. He said, and I quote, it's a new mindset. The 3-2. Oh, baby, in and out of that catcher, Smith.
He got the fastball past Schumacher, but just able to nick it, and Montero couldn't quite hold on. Well, good battle here.
This pitch coming home will be pitch number 9 in the matchup. 3-2. That's a fair ball. Now it's foul.
Not quite.
Wow.
That one was up in right on his thumbs.
He didn't even know where it was when he hit it.
Patterson got him to chase a pitch out of the zone, what would have been ball 4. But you can see Schumacher's just looking for a breaking ball. Somehow, some way, he was able to fight that one off, and it almost stayed fair. Here we go again. Pitch number 10.
3-2. Outside, he walked him. What an at-bat by Schumacher.
Sure was.
Now Yadier Molina. You get to a point, too, where you have a pitcher ready, but you can't keep revolving that door.
Yeah.
You're running out of players.
You got 4 innings left, or 3 1/3. So now Patterson going to have to face a right-hander in Molina. Cardinals trying to take the lead. He was tardy on a fastball.
Patterson began his college career at Linfield, a Division III school near his hometown at McMinnville, Oregon, and then transferred to Oregon State. Went on to win himself a national title. He's a key member as a starter. The 0-1. Outside. Molina just about, as you see the bases loaded numbers, just about in his career the same hitter against righties and lefties. Outside, 2-1 the count.
Tried another changeup, missed with another changeup.
The 2-1. 2-2. Just dropped it in there. Patterson played this past fall in the Arizona Fall League. Played for Pat Casey at Oregon State.
This game, or this inning now, on 1 hour and 15 minutes long.
Whose clock are you using? Because I'm using an hourglass. 2-2 the count. Patterson, very best friend and neighbor growing up, young man by the name of Daniel Turpin. Ascending the ranks as well professionally, was also a Rule 5 pick of the Yankees. And then was traded, ended up in the Colorado organization. Hot shot, foul ball. This inning was underway. First pitch in this inning 26 minutes ago. Remember John Jay? Folks remember him? He walked.
Albert Pujols and Matt Holliday have made outs in this inning, struck out. Everybody else has reached safely.
There's John Jay. Base is full, the 2-2. Bouncing ball back to Patterson. He's got it, and he cleans it up. It wasn't easy. In the machine. I mean, basically, if you've ever been to the batting cages and you ask your mom for some money, you just keep putting tokens in because you're loving hitting. It's basically what is going on tonight. We mean it respectfully, but it's fun to watch. If you love offense, when you come to the ballpark, you've gotten fat off this one. Justin Upton with a blast out to Fat Burger. Boy, and then if you like a little brouhaha with your burger, Kirk Gibson's right there with you. He and Bob Davidson taking up for Miguel Montero there. Did you like that?
I loved it. I absolutely loved it.
Gibson, his first career ejection as a manager. 5 total home runs. And I can all but guarantee you there will be more.
Oh, no question.
It's just one of those nights. We've been tearing apart Fat Burgers up here while we've been enjoying it. And Brian Augenstein, we enjoyed him as a young man, a good kid when he was a Diamondback. Now pitches for the Cardinals organization. Big, tall right-hander. But doesn't use all of that leverage. He drops down a bit. It's a unique look. When he's right, he's on the ground, though. That one in the air, driven to left field. The play is made. My goodness, Holliday runs it down.
One pitch, one bullet. Holliday playing very deep, and he needed to. That ball was hit right at him on a string right to the middle of the track.
Kelly Johnson before the game was talking about Matt Holliday. They used to bump into one another when Johnson was a minor leaguer and working out in his hometown in Austin, and Holliday's dad was at that point on the coaching staff for the Texas Longhorns, and Matt was in the big leagues. Then they played with one another in the fall league as Branyan drives it deep right field. It's off the wall. Finish telling Holliday stories later, but for now, Russell Branyan's been on 3 times today. A walk, a single, and now a double. Top spin bolt.
2 very loud sounds off the bat of Chris Young, and now Russell Branyan. Mercy. He just gets a fastball to his liking. He pounds it, as you said, with some top spin on a short hop in right center field. We're going to get an intentional walk to Miguel Montero.
One and 0 the count. Ryan Roberts waits on deck. Miguel was involved with a couple of those check swings. Both called strikes, both called at home plate. That's what got Gibson going. I mean, and to be fair, Miggy was pretty fired up himself as he exited stage left. And now Ryan Roberts.
Roberts been on a couple of times, a walk and a base hit.
When Roberts broke into the big leagues, there was a hitting coach, longtime baseball guy by the name of Merv Redmond. Merv Redmond, and then Rudy Jaramillo in Texas.
A couple of very good ones.
Now Don Baylor here in Arizona. Roberts heaping out plenty of praise to all 3 before the game. Hot shot, fair ball. Roberts is on the move, as are the base runners out front. In comes Branyan. Montero stops at third. Ryan Roberts, that show of emotion out there at the bag at second base, gets it done, and it's 10-8. Merv Redmond, Jaramillo, and Baylor all would be proud of that work.
Another very hard hit ball against Augenstein. This time he flips a little breaking ball that does nothing. Roberts blisters it down the left field line. Start the merry-go-round. Boy, this is a slugfest, folks. Diamondbacks have scratched every single inning. They're looking to add on more. They're going to have to bring in the infield. Juan Miranda. He's going to come on and pinch hit for Patterson. I'd like to say, looking to blow this thing open, but I don't think this one can be blown open.
I don't think so either. Miranda 4 of 20, the Cuban native, former Yankee, called upon to pinch hit. Change up, strike 1. Roberts picks up an RBI. And Sherlock's been a busy man over there. Usually with the role of bullpen coach. Doing a great job as a third base coach in place of Matt Williams. Sent Branyan home. Looked like he thought about cranking up Miggy, who had decided, I'm not going anywhere.
Miguel was his own base coach there. I think he's made the wise decision stopping at third. Another change up, another swing and miss. Or was that a sinker, Darren?
I think that last one was a sinker. First pitch was a changeup. 0-2 the count.
Got to have some contact here if you're Juan Miranda. Yeah, that one just sunk underneath the bat. Got to have some contact. The last thing you want here is a strikeout. You got to put the pressure on the opposing defense. Force them to make a play. By hook or by crook, you've got to get that run in.
Juan hit .281 in a little bit more than 400 minor league games. Slugged right under 500. 0-2.
Wow. Just missed. Good pitch there from Augenstein.
Augenstein touched up early in the season. Early season outing against the San Diego Padres, earned a loss in an extra inning game. Settled down since. Juan Miranda, high drive into right center field. He got it! Jackpot! $150 to the Arizona Mountain Association. The Arizona Mountain Rescue Association from Fulton Homes off the Gila River Casino sign.
Boy, a hanging breaking ball, kablooey. Boom! Way, way out of here to right center field. You wanted contact, folks. Well, that was a lot of contact. By hook or by crook, you got to get that run in. Well, he got all three of them in. A 3-run long ball. What a crazy, crazy baseball game.
That's his first home run as a member of the Diamondbacks. It's 13-8 Arizona in the 6th inning. Off the end of the bat, shallow center field. There to make the play is Colby Rasmus for the second out. Willie Bloomquist is 1 for 5 in this game. Willie still with a 9-game hitting streak. Good for Juan Miranda.
And he's trying to earn some playing time. That'll earn him some playing time.
Well, we said you thought things were decided. You even heard announcements that things might have been decided with, well, we're going to see Miranda majority of the time. It just hasn't been consistent playing time for anyone at first.
Yeah. Well, pretty much everybody that's played over there has done pretty well. From Branyan to Nady to Miranda. It's an awfully good problem to have if you're Kirk Gibson. But I still think at the end of the day, you still haven't found out much about Juan Miranda. I think eventually at the end of the day, you're going to have to find out, aren't you?
Yes.
You know what you've got in Russell Branyan. You know what you've got in ex-Nady. They're veterans. I mean, been watching these guys play for years. You really don't know what you have yet in Juan Miranda. Found out he's got some pretty good power to right center on a hanging breaking ball. That you know that. But we don't know much else. I'm getting fired up. Come on, D-Sut. You've been moping around here.
A long run for Albert.
Oh.
And Berkman can't hold on. He was over into the seats. If you're into the stands, if you've crossed over into the area where the fans sit.
He was wanting fan interference. Let's see if he has a gripe. That's a great shot. That is not fan interference. He did not reach out over into the field of play.
Yeah, that's a great
angle.
It is
perfectly legal to catch the ball and not break the plane of the field of play. Did he get the ball?
Well, I hope so. That one is a strike. Kelly Johnson, but Juan Miranda. It's all right, Kelly. Juan Miranda got a hit. He hit it out of here. Jackpot.
runs and fireworks. And with the D-backs Pepsi Max Value Pack, you get a lower level ticket, a regular size hot dog, a 24-ounce Pepsi, and a free 20-ounce bottle of Pepsi Max, all for just $19. Available every game, every day. Call 602-462-4787 or visit dbacks.com/value.
Two-fisted on the Pepsi.
It's tough. That's
awesome.
Not an easy one.
That's awesome.
24-ounce Pepsi and a free 20-ounce bottle of Pepsi Max. You can get your sugar high all you want.
That's wonderful. That's great. Get your Pepsi, and I love Pepsi Max. That one is outside. 1-1 the count to Brian Augenstein, who is hitting now. They will have him eat some time. David Hernandez, you saw a Verizon call to the bullpen. 2-1 the count. Big fella. That one sails up and in from the right arm of Hernandez. 3-1 the count. Alan Trammell, if you're just joining us, is the acting manager of the Diamondbacks. With Kirk Gibson ejected earlier. Look at Augenstein. That is a pitcher. First career hit in the big leagues.
That ball was scalded.
Tony La Russa will gather up career hit number 1.
Congratulations. Ryan Augenstein, that ball was smoked. He's probably not too excited about it after giving up a 4 spot in the bottom of the 6th.
Now it's hard to jump up and down and celebrate when that occurs. Ryan Theriot, singles machine. He doesn't have one that time. Stephen Drew's got it. Nice play by Drew.
Very difficult play right there, and he really actually made a very difficult play look pretty simple. He just ran to a spot, looked up, and fortunately for Stephen Drew and the Diamondbacks, he ran to the correct spot.
Colby Rasmus. Hernandez. That one bounces in there. Hernandez really has settled in nicely in that bullpen for the Diamondbacks. Has yet to be scored upon. The 25-year-old who will be 26 this coming May 13th. A little bit of giddy up on his fastball, as you can see.
And then some.
And that
95.
That extra gear came, Gracie. He always had a good arm, but when he moved out of the rotation, where he spent a majority of his minor league career and a portion of his major league career, and into the bullpen, he can just turn it loose.
Gas again. That time to the outside corner. That was beautifully placed.
As a starter last year in a game in April against Seattle, his average fastball was 93. As a reliever on July 5th against Detroit, as a reliever, his average fastball was 95. High fly, lifted into left, laid on it, underneath it. Willie Bloomquist puts it to bed. Our Home Depot doing more on defense. Take a look at Stephen Drew. This is earlier in the game. We saw him make a nice play a moment ago. Albert Pujols now. Singled, grounded out, singled and scored, and struck out looking on a breaking ball. Breaking ball misses away. The most runs and hits combined in a game this year was opening day Cleveland at the White Sox. Cleveland won at 15-10. 25 runs. There were 35 hits between the two. We're gaining on him here.
Oh, boy, he challenged right down Broadway. Pujols had a vicious swing at it. Oh, and fouled it straight back. Goodness gracious, that was power on power. The result was good for Hernandez, but be careful doing that again.
Spins him out of there at 95 miles an hour, 2-1. Arizona has scored into double digits now 3 times this year. That leads the National League with the Phillies, who have done it 3 times. Low, 3-1 the count. Matt Holliday waits on deck.
That's the thing a lot of times when you got a guy with the talent of Pujols in the box. Pitchers tend to just overthrow. They're trying so hard, and they just put so much effort into it that they end up missing out of the zone and walking him. Good pitch there, 3-1. It's not a swing you see from Albert Pujols very often on 3-1. That was a very defensive swing. Usually, he's looking to hurt somebody with a 3-1 swing. That one was almost like he was trying to foul it off.
3-2. Fastball into right center field. It's down for a hit. Big fella, the pitcher, Augustine, not missing a beat. It took a while for him to get there, but he went first to third. Give him credit for running the bases aggressively.
Yeah, he was off on the 3-2 pitch, running on the pitch. Why not go first to third? Pujols. Slowly but surely, folks, that's a 3-hit game for him.
Right.
That's almost as many hits as he's had all season coming into this thing. Just like that, these Cardinals knocking at the door again.
Good fastball blazes the outside. In the National League, the Diamondbacks are the only team that has scored 13 or more runs in a game, and they've now done it twice. A couple of days ago, they did it against Cincinnati, and tonight. Breaking ball.
Wow.
0-2. Drafted out of Kosumi's River College in the Sacramento area. Head coach there was Tony Bloomfield. The 0-2. Got him with a fastball. Coach Bloomfield would be proud of that. I know Coach Trammell and Nagy like it pretty good too.
Field, the Diamond Club, Jody Jackson, Joe Borowski getting set for Quest Diamondbacks Live, and this has been a wild one, Joe. The kind of game we love to break down here on the post-game show. Plenty to look at, but you know what? We've seen fight from this Diamondbacks club, and we've seen fight from Gibby himself, although he's been ejected.
I thought fireworks were on Friday nights. Both teams with huge offensive numbers, and even Diamondback manager Kirk Gibson with some fireworks of his own. I know the booth is itching to talk about that ejection and what effect it might have on the rest of the team.
Well, guys, we'll love to converse with you about that and more when and if this game ends. And, of course, we'll hear from manager Kirk Gibson as well here on Quest Diamondbacks Live.
Good stuff, Jody. If this game ends. When and if this game ends, and we will see. Hang in there. Mr. Augenstein goes to work. Slider, and it's a strike to Justin Upton. Diamondbacks have scored in every inning. That would be every inning as that one is outside. Now, they've never scored in all 9 innings or 8 innings for home games, so they don't have to bat in the 9th. Scored in the first 6 innings twice and never in the first 7 innings, so this will be a first. Back in 03, they scored in the first 6 innings and it went over Pittsburgh. And then a couple of months later, did the same thing to San Diego. All right.
Ready for another bunch of runs, huh? Just missed. A flinch there from Bob Davidson behind home plate, but it was cleanly outside.
Bob's hung in there. He had a little bit of a Donnybrook earlier with Kirk Gibson.
Hey, he loves those just as much as Gibby.
You bet. Well, he engaged. He didn't just stand passively.
Gas.
And Upton goes down on strikes. Somehow I think we'll see that video, by the way, of you see Upton miss the fastball of Davidson and Gibson. I think we'll see that video again.
I have a feeling we will. We might see that one for a while. That was awesome. Kirk Gibson is by far my favorite manager.
Is he now?
Oh, man. He just went right to the top.
Stephen Drew, foul ball. Stephen has a couple of hits. He's got a couple of runs scored. He is really rolling. Well, we're glad to have Gibby watching. You can hear what he's saying about you, Gibby, watching from down there in his office right now. Gracie liked it.
Yeah. Gibby knows I liked it.
The 1-1. Bouncing ball. Now, isn't Joe Garagiola Jr. part of the committee that would decide if there was a fine or not?
No, there won't be one.
Oh, there won't be?
No. He didn't do anything wrong.
I agree with you. You just said it. We'll pay it. You said we'll pay it.
He didn't touch Bob Davidson. They touched caps. They pointed fingers at each other and they said, I disagree. No, I disagree. That's awesome. Look at that shot right there. Ain't nothing. You don't get fined for that.
I certainly hope not.
That's just boys being boys.
2-2 the count. Uh-oh.
Oh, boy.
Grabbing at his groin area there.
Looks like he.
Barry Weinberger.
Oh, that's a shame.
Head trainer will race out.
That is a shame. Oh, he is in agony right now. Yeah, that's a groin. The right groin. Golly. The landing leg. He throws. And it pops right there. Down he goes. And boy. What a shame.
We'll keep our eye on Brian. We'll step aside, be back in a moment. Anyway, let's take a look back. It's time for our All-Star Game memory as the Diamondbacks host Major League Baseball's All-Star Game, July 1949, Ebbets Field. The All-Star Game, what took it so long? It was integrated. 2 years after Jackie Robinson and Larry Doby broke into the big leagues, African Americans made their All-Star Game debut, and they did so with Roy and Don. Robinson and Doby also in the lineup. Of course, Mr. Campanella and Newcomb. The American League won the game 11-7. A great day, and again, a much-needed day in baseball history. Jackie Robinson Day coming up April 15th. We're certainly excited about that. A couple of days from now, we will celebrate it throughout the weekend. We're celebrating as number 42 retired. Major League Baseball-wide, Friday, Jackie Robinson Day. So Mott warms.
He is a hard thrower.
You've had a chance to shoot the breeze with him. You're going to like what this young man's all about,
He's
don't
a
you?
really good kid. Got a chance to walk back to the hotel area when we were in St. Louis last year, and I happened to be walking right next to him. I introduced myself and spent about 10 minutes with him and found out that this is one delightful young man with a very talented right arm.
Ran into him yesterday. I said, "You still blowing some cheddar cheese from that mound? Really bringing it?" "I'm trying. I'm trying."
It sounds about like him.
There's something about it. I've always thought about that. Warming in the middle of the diamond with everybody waiting. Do you rush it? Would you rush it? You have to be ready. You have to know when you're ready. But there's something about everybody waiting.
Well, you throw as many as you need to because you don't want to hurt yourself. He's going to be fine.
Exactly right.
He's fine. He's ready to go. And
This is what goes on, though, while they wait.
I like that.
Do you now?
Got that. It's kind of the way Michael Jordan did it when he was playing basketball.
He's not happy.
Oh, man. Well, Jason Mott got ready, and they're starting the game, and they had to stop the music. He was having a good time.
It's a sad moment. Mott fires a fastball, 95 miles an hour, and stomps and snorts and
He's
walks around the mound. Outside, it's a breaking ball. Give me the ball back. Clean that beard off. Tug at the cap, snort some more. Here it comes. Ooh, a little cut fastball, if you will.
Yeah,
Excuse me.
Wasn't one of his patented blazing 96-mile-an-hour fastballs.
Now, wait a minute. Pardon him for becoming a pitcher. That was beautiful.
There's another one. There's the same
Whoa.
result. Stop it.
Iona College in New York. New Rochelle, New York. Born in Port Huron, Michigan. Drafted as a catcher out of college. Couldn't hit much.
I was going to say, usually when you get drafted as a catcher and you make it to the big leagues as a pitcher, pretty much a telltale sign that you weren't a very good hitter.
Said I never saw myself doing anything else. Catching's all I ever wanted to do. As that one sails high and inside. And it was the start of the 2006 season. He said, get the gear, put it away, get out on the mound.
And lit up the minor leagues as a pitcher.
Started out in the Penn League that year and was moved up quickly. As that one is low, that's ball 4. Again, was sitting down in that bullpen watching, now pressed into duty. So you'll have to find it pretty soon. You have to keep it right here.
And you just hope Brian Augenstein, hopefully that's just not as bad as it looked, because it looked really bad.
Here's Russell Branyan.
This will be a little power on power here with Mott and Branyan. Ooh, boy, challenged in 95. And that big old uppercut swing of Russell Brandon. I like these matchups. Don't throw him anything off speed, Jason Mott. Let's see one of those good old-fashioned duels at sundown here.
Brandon as a starter is 6 for 10.
Yeah, there you go. Fastballs.
Born in Warner Robins, Georgia, was originally an Indian 7th-round pick. Gracie likes to call him Russell the Muscle.
Well, I do. It's one of the better nicknames.
High. That's a breaking ball he overthrew.
Is that what it was?
Or a changeup.
Come on, let's go a fastball here. I want to see power on power. A great fastball. Light tower power in the box. Ooh, I like that. That's what I'm talking about. That's a couple ball players going at it. Come on, one more fastball.
Squinting, snorting, looking for the sign. On 2-2.
Oh, he let that one fly. I love this. Good stuff. Mott and Brandon.
The easy-going Southern gentleman steps back into the box. All right, away we go. Runner goes. Fastball. Late on it. But he lives to hit another time.
Here it is, big fella. Big swing from Brandon. No mind games at all right here. Let's just play. Just like with your brother out in the backyard in the good old days. Try to throw it as hard as you can right by him. Or your sister.
4 times, 20 or more homers in a season. For the well-traveled slugger. Runner goes, 3-2.
Yeah.
Got it.
Russell, that was fun to watch. Jason Mott. Challenge.
Can't wait till he gets warmed up. FoxSportsArizona.com for a devil of a day this Saturday. Now, it all begins with coverage of Pat's Run from inside Sun Devil Stadium at 7:15 in the morning. Then don't miss the spring football scrimmage at 2 p.m. Then finally at 6:30 p.m., ASU baseball takes on Wazoo, Washington State. It's a devil of a day, and it's on FoxSportsArizona.com. Don't forget, the beginning of Pat's Run, 7:15 in the morning out at the stadium. Will you be sideline reporting for that?
No.
Hot shot right there. Russell the Muscle. And Brandon goes up the ladder and hauls it in.
Needed about every ounce of that 6'5" right there as that ball is scalded off the bat of Lance Berkman. He's had a huge day again. 3 more hits and then a rocket right at Brandon.
David Freese digs in. A little bit more on Hernandez, and I think a family update. Let's find Mark McClune. Mark?
Yeah, I was actually able to talk to Hernandez a little bit before the game, and he said he hoped that we didn't talk the rest of the season because if you're talking to a middle reliever, then something's gone terribly wrong. But he was talking about that in the Baltimore organization, spent a lot of time as a starting pitcher but wasn't able to spot his changeup. Interested to see from your perspective up top if you've seen him throw. I don't know if I've seen him throw a changeup tonight. And as far as the family situation goes, Hernandez due up third, Gerardo Parra over there on the bench. He is coming off, well, the biggest night of his career. He and his wife Andrea welcomed a son, Gerardo, last night at 7 o'clock. Mom, both grandmothers watching, doing well. Gerardo wanted to get back and get in the action today, but Kirk Gibson wanted to give him the day off to get back into baseball mode after an exciting night.
Thank you, Mark.
Nice
Good hit
going,
there.
Mark McClune. And nice going, Gerardo Parra.
He and his lovely wife. That is wonderful. Congratulations to them. That one sails outside. Skip earned a walk against Patterson last time up. Fights off that electric fastball. I haven't seen him, by the way, to go back to Mark's original question. I haven't seen Hernandez throw many at all changeups. Fastball, curveball. He'll change speeds on that curveball. Last year, out of every 100 pitches he threw, he only threw about 6 changeups. When you've got a right arm like that, especially when you've added more velocity to that right arm as you move to the bullpen. And the work he has done today, of the 26 pitches, just one of them changeups. There's a breaking ball to tie. That, of course, courtesy the Zachomatic, Kurt Zacher, our statistician.
The best in the business.
Got him.
Yes.
You better not think about a changeup at all because he's got that in the right arm. Well, talk about restoring order. Somebody get him his glove. The light rail on in from Tempe to the yard. Good stuff. taking on up to Camelback, if you like. Central right up to Camelback.
That's exactly right.
Coming on up in the post game, Joe's going to weigh in. Gracie will weigh in. I don't have the experience of being a big leaguer, but I'll just mediate, Jody and I. But looking forward to talking about that ejection. Must-see TV, Kirk Gibson. And then the Diamondbacks, our two-out offense has been fun to watch tonight. Specifically one hitter who stats told us had no chance to get a hit tonight, especially against the man who was the starting pitcher. We'll talk about that in the post-game show. It's called Quest Diamondbacks Live, and it comes your way a little bit after midnight. As that one is inside. 1-0 the count to Miguel Montero.
This has been one of the longer ones.
We won't be with you tomorrow, folks.
Yeah, what's going on with that? I'm gonna be here.
Well, you and I can call a practice game. We'll just practice broadcasting. Miggy on the ground. Schumacher. And Montero has himself a hit. By the way, we won't be on. You can catch the Governor and Candyman on radio. Suns will grab some ownership of Fox Sports Arizona, and we congratulate a fabulous career coming to an end. Gary Bender will call his final game tomorrow. 18th year as the voice of the Suns. And so many successful things. National telecast, college basketball on CBS, Major League Baseball on ABC, a World Series reporter. The Rams and the Bears, football. As that one is a strike. Green Bay Packers radio. Milwaukee Brewers TV. Congratulations.
Classy gentleman.
So we step aside tomorrow night. Let a veteran of many games, many sports across this country and around the world call his final game for the Suns. In time for the out. And we tip our cap to you, Mr. Bender. Way to go. And I think it's probably back to Kansas for him.
We got the new dad coming in to get a pinch hitting appearance here. Gerardo Parra.
Bender, by the way, with 42 years in the business and is a member of the Kansas Sports Hall of Fame. Outside. 1-0 the count to Parra. So Gerardo is 7 of 23 to start the year. He's got a couple of doubles, a couple of RBIs. He's got a lot of sleepless nights in his future. Ground ball to the right side. Parra rolls that one over and pick up some diapers and formula on his way home. Energy All-Stars. Justin, did you? My goodness. You weren't supposed to hit that man. 0 for 11. Well, you did. APS Energy All-Star. CY with the long ball. Juan Miranda with a 3-run homer off the Gila River Casino sign. And then the skipper taken up for his catcher. He felt he was wronged by the home plate umpire, Bob Davidson. APS Energy All-Stars. I knew that would get you going.
Man, I am just jacked tonight. Gibby's got me just.
Make sure to listen to what Kirk Gibson has to say in our postgame. As you said, he's had plenty of time to calm down, but just still his reflections on it will be nice. J.J. Putz goes to work. This is not a save situation. You know what this is? It's a win situation.
Doggone right.
You need to win this game.
We've used a lot of arms out there tonight.
Michigan born and raised. Went to the University of Michigan. 34 years old. Fastball broke his bat.
There you go.
Sawed him off. There you go is right. And Molina.
He had a tough night.
Had a real tough night. 0 for 5.
There's been 29 hits this evening. Unfortunately for Yadier, none of them came off his bat as that bat shatters. On a fastball in from Putz. One quick out.
Daniel Descalso now is called upon to hit. Hops off the bench. 3 of 15 so far this year for Descalso. Telling the story yesterday from Northern California at that first start of the year in San Francisco against the world champs. High fly ball well struck. Justin is on the move. Just enough real estate in this ballpark. And Putz.
2 quick outs.
Ho hum, that's exactly right. A pair of outs on the scoreboard. JJ has earned 3 saves in 3 appearances. Has allowed 1 run along the way. Scoreless in Colorado, in Chicago. 1 run the other day, and allowing the Cincinnati Reds to creep closer, but he won it, and he saved it. 3 for 3 in saves. The big fella with an exhale. 1-0 the counter, Ryan Theriot. The 1-0 pitch on the black, 1-1. His devastating pitch when he's right is a split-fingered fastball.
Well, he's locating his fastball awfully well this year as well. That can be a devastating pitch, too.
Adds a slider to the mix when he needs it. JJ rocks and fires. Fastball on the ground. Tried to kick save in the spirit of the Coyotes v. Red Wings, but couldn't knock it down.
I'm looking forward to that. I just got word that my son Jackson, my 10-year-old Jackson, his team won tonight in walk-off fashion, 10-9, the Angels.
Oh, I like the Angels.
Yeah.
I like Jackson.
Yeah,
Jackson, that's good news.
Jackson's team won 10-9 in walk-off style.
Not balk-off.
No.
Okay.
No. Esmerling Vasquez wasn't pitching that game.
Here's Colby Rasmus. Trying to stop it right there. Putz, fires a strike. 0-1 the count. 4 minutes till 10 o'clock in the great state of Arizona. 2 games active being played right now. 1 in San Diego, 1 in San Francisco. Outside of this one. Into the dirt. That looked like the splitter, and Miguel keeps it with him. So Wally was a Wolverine, Putz, at the University of Michigan in the same dorm with Tom Brady, same building. Also, U of M is where he met his wife, Kelsa, who was an All-American softball player.
Really? So they're going to have good ball playing rascals, if they don't already.
1-1 the count. That one is high, an off-speed pitch. Pujols waits on deck. JJ and his wife Kelsey have 3 children, Lauren, Kaylin, and Joseph.
Good fastball there on the outside corner, and he beat Rasmus with it.
JJ was a Mariner from 03 to 08. He had 76 saves between the years 2006 and 7. 2-2 and away we go. It's high, 3-2 the count. There was even more velocity behind the work of Putz in 06. He averaged 96 miles an hour with that right arm.
He had a great fastball before an arm injury. Well, it didn't derail him. It just made him throw about 92, 93 instead of 96.
Runner goes, 3-2, fastball, hot shot. There's Russell Branyan to the bag, and this slugfest goes to the Diamondbacks. Arizona outlasting the visitors from St. Louis. And some big hits late. The Diamondbacks creep back up to the top of Mount 500 with the victory as they even things up at 5-5. A lot of folks have big nights tonight. A lot of people you can look at. David Hernandez restored some order, certainly. It was locked down in the end. Kirk Gibson took up for his mates. A lot of offense, top to bottom in that order. There's a lot to talk about. But we've been on for a long time. Joe and Jody have been waiting to break this thing down for like a day and a half. 13-8 the final score. Let's get it on out to our studio in right field. Diamondbacks win it by 5. Here we go.